you're going to be one of the top teams in the country, you should play other top teams.
Saturday in Knoxville, Tennessee, Oklahoma.
This is supposed to be the year to break through the 100,000 fans behind you.
A terrific atmosphere.
You have to win this game.
Oh, yeah. College football. You know what day it is. Let's go.
On the banks of the Tennessee River, the Vol Navy docked and ready. The hungry Tennessee faithful excited about the 2015 edition of Butch Jones' team back in the nation's top 25. Tailback Jalen Hurd, part of a talented backfield, led by junior quarterback Josh Dobbs. But into Knoxville comes Bob Stoops' Oklahoma Sooners with their high-powered passing attack and a new quarterback in Baker Mayfield. A big interconference battle of the Big 12 and the SEC is next. And we welcome you to ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Hilton. Our matchup, the Tennessee Volunteers and the Oklahoma Sooners. And there hasn't been this kind of feel in Knoxville at Neyland Stadium in a long, long time. And we welcome you, everybody. Brad Nessler with Todd Blackledge. I think you get the idea. Everybody around here is excited about Tennessee football for the first time in years, and they should be. Last year they finished strong. Ledge, now they're back in the top 25. Meanwhile, Oklahoma, preseason, they were way up there in the rankings a year ago and fell to 8-5. So both teams feel like they have something to prove tonight.
Yeah, and both teams last week won games relatively easily, but a much truer test for both of these groups tonight to see how strong they are and how close they are to getting where they hope this season will take them.
It seems like Oklahoma's gone back to the future with their offense right now.
Well, they've gone back to the way they used to play offense. It started with a new coordinator, Lincoln Riley, and they've got a new starting quarterback as well. And one of the more interesting stories in all of college football in this early season, Baker Mayfield was a walk-on starter at Texas Tech, was the 2013 Big 12 Freshman of the Year. Left there, walked on to Oklahoma, became the starter last week, threw for 388 in his opener.
Tennessee's really excited about their entire backfield, and they should be.
Well, they ran for 399 yards in their opening win, and it's a three-headed monster. And Oklahoma familiar with one of the guys. Jalen Hurd was the leading rusher last year. He had 97 yards against Oklahoma in Norman last year, but they didn't see Josh Dobbs, and this offense has really hit its stride with him at quarterback. And the newcomer, Alvin Kamara, who came by way of Alabama and Hutchinson Community College, he ran for 144 yards last week. So a very dangerous backfield for the Volunteers.
We talked about the feeling around town. We've been here 3 days. It's electric. With more on that, third member of our team, Holly Rowe.
Well, Brad, it's hard to believe that in 120 years of Oklahoma football, the Sooners have never played here in Neyland Stadium. Their fans are fired up. There's more than 10,000 Sooners here in attendance, and they are loud and ready to go. We are so excited because this is a homecoming of sorts for a lot of guys from Tennessee. They've never played in front of this many people as well. 40 kids from the Tennessee roster have never played a snap in Neyland Stadium. So 102,455 people are going to be loud and crazy. Both coaches said they have to get off to a faster start. And Butch Jones said he actually cautioned his guys that in their pregame warm-ups, they should not expend so much energy. He wanted them focused and businesslike. We watched, and they did. They were quiet, focused, got to work. But right before they ran out into the tunnel, Kurt Magid got them fired up. Guys, it is so loud down here, 110 decibels so far. It is ready to rock.
Butch Jones, a virtual newcomer compared to his counterpart on the other side, Bob Stoops, in his 17th year in Norman. Tennessee won the toss and deferred. So back deep for Oklahoma, Alex Ross and Deron Neal. You see the checkerboard of the fans and the way they're dressed around Neyland. Aaron Medley to kick. kicks it out of the end zone. As Oklahoma takes the field, let's take a look at the Chick-fil-A impact players. For Oklahoma offensively, Samaje Perine, a great running back. At one point had the all-time record for single-season yards in a game. Sterling Shepard is their big hitter, almost 1,000 yards receiving a year ago. And the quarterback, Baker Mayfield's going to have to look out for Kurt Magid because he'll be coming around the corner when he comes.
I would expect to see Oklahoma try to get their running game going early in this ball game. Only 100 yards on the ground last week against Akron. They have to have better balance in their offense.
Mixon and Perine both in there with Mayfield on the first snap from the 25. Play action, no rollout. Throws on the run and incomplete. Intended for Neal. Broken up back there in the secondary.
Nice play by Brian Randolph, the safety, coming over the top. The secondary is going to be tested. They're missing a couple key guys, a couple young guys playing. And this is an explosive Oklahoma pass offense.
In a pistol set on second down at 10. They go straight ahead and a big opening and a first down run by Perine. So the first time he touches it, he goes for 11 yards.
Well, again, he just was not much of a factor last week, and he's too good of a player. He's a powerful inside runner, and a nice gain right there.
Out to the 36-yard line. They go right back to him, and this time he's going to be bottled up and dropped for a loss of 1. Owen Williams was the first guy there from the Tennessee defense.
Where I think Oklahoma has an advantage in this game is running inside. I think they're big and strong on the inside of their offensive line. They're breaking in 2 new offensive tackles, and the strength of Tennessee's defensive front is their edge pass rushers, young guys on the inside.
There you see Derek Barnett not in a three-point stance, and he'll be coming around the corner. Actually, he drops into coverage. And the throw is right on target to midfield to D.D. Westbrook. And a nice throw it was by Mayfield.
Nice protection. Mayfield able to keep his eyes downfield and just sidestep the rush a little bit and hit Westbrook crossing the middle.
Again, you won't see either team huddle very often, if at all. The Sooners already have crossed midfield at the 49 of Tennessee. Straight run, and again for the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss. Owen Williams again on the inside, number 58. Submarine down there and got help from his friends. Oklahoma started really slowly a week ago.
Yeah, they did. Again, it was a new quarterback, a new offensive coordinator. It took them a while, but in the second and third quarter, they really hit their stride. The guy I expect to see touch the ball soon now is this guy right here, Sterling Shepard. We've seen Perine get off to a little quick start. Shepard, another big weapon in this offense.
One of our impact players. We'll see if he makes one here in the first quarter. Quick throw and high and intercepted. Picked off by Todd Kelly. A ricochet off Westbrook.
I mean, you could say this is a catchable pass, but for such a short throw, the ball's thrown too high. It has to be down around the numbers area for Westbrook. This ball has got a lot of heat on it. It goes through the hands of Westbrook, and Todd Kelly comes up with a key interception.
Could have had it, maybe should have had it.
Yep.
But Tennessee's got it.
Todd Kelly was in the hospital most all of last week with tonsillitis. Got out of the hospital in time to play as a backup last week, starting in the ball game today, and a key play right there.
Said he spent most of his time in the hospital on his iPad watching film. Did a good job there to get the interception and give it to the offense as Hurd stopped after a short gain. Tennessee right around midfield as we take a look at the Chick-fil-A impact players for Tennessee. Offensively, Marquez North did not catch a pass last week. That won't happen tonight. Striker's a great outside linebacker from the rushing spot, and Sanchez had 6 interceptions for OU in the secondary a year ago. On second down, it's the keeper by the quarterback, and Dobbs has got it all the way down to the 35-yard line.
Nice job blocking. A little bit of a missed assignment. They block Striker, who's on the end of the line, and there's nobody to fill that gap. Stryker had outside contained. Nobody flowed over to that gap. And a good read by Josh Dobbs on his first carry.
Pickup of 15 and a first down at the Sooner 35-yard line. Now it's Dobbs wanting to throw. Josh has all kinds of daylight out there. Throws on the run. Incomplete, broken up. It's a nice job by Stephen Parker. Jawan Jennings was the intended receiver.
See, last year when these teams met in Norman, Oklahoma won the game 34-10. They didn't face a dual threat quarterback. Josh Dobbs took over later in the year, and he gives them a different dimension with his ability to make plays with his feet and his arm, and we've seen that already.
Kamara now in the backfield with Dobbs. Going to be a blitz off the corner. Dobbs comes back the other way on the slant, complete. And it's Jonathan Johnson, and it looks like he's got a first down.
Boy, nice job just knowing where the pressure was coming from Dobbs. He didn't panic. He stayed right in there, and he let his receiver clear the dropping linebacker into that open window.
The ball just shaded inside the Sooner 25-yard line. Tennessee on a march after that interception by Kelly. Quick wide out screen, trying to stiff arm his way for extra yards as Johnson, and he did. Nice job to pick up about 7.
Well, we see this happen with a lot of offenses like this. The offensive line blocks run, and the quarterback, if he reads the right numbers to throw the ball out to single covered receivers, that's what he does. The only guy that makes that decision is the quarterback. A good one that time by Josh Dobbs.
Last year in the red zone, Tennessee 2nd in the SEC and 5th in the country. Just saw those amazing numbers, and they're in the red zone now, and that pass should have been caught defensively, getting in the way of the intended pass by Josh Malone.
Devontae Bond, nice play from his outside linebacker position. Not sure if he got a hand on or not, but he certainly got in the vision of the intended receiver.
So a 3rd down situation, 7th play of the drive. Tennessee 56% of their 3rd down conversions last week.
Bob Stoops wants a timeout. Didn't like what he saw on that 3rd down play.
So we'll take the timeout with Coach Stoops with 11:11 remaining first quarter.
Remember, 63 and 93. 9 positions, 3 units. Playing for 63 with everything we do. 6. 7.
Butch Jones before the game. The SEC on ESPN in the Vols locker room, and now back to the live action with a 3rd down and 3 coming up. Tennessee having picked off a pass and trying to capitalize here early. Hurd to the corner, got the edge all the way to the 6. It's 1st and goal.
Now this is what makes Tennessee so good in the red zone. Their ability to run the football and a running quarterback. You have to respect everything. This is the wide sweep with the quarterback run option off of it. Good read by Dobbs, keeping it in the belly of Hurd to convert to the 1st down.
All 3 receivers to the left side of Dobbs here on 1st and goal at the 6. And now it's Hurd trying to go the other way and tries to stiff arm his way back to the line of scrimmage. And Zach Sanchez, the all Big 12 defensive back, wouldn't let him get there.
Nice job by Sanchez on a big back, maintaining leverage, fighting off the stiff arm and running him out of bounds.
And as Todd said, Hurd is not a little guy. 6'4", about 240. 2nd down and goal. This is where the running quarterback can come into play. But he's going to throw and got a man in the flat, and it's his tight end. Close, but not in. Ethan Wolf, who caught a couple a week ago, has got it to the 1-yard line.
Well, it looked like he reached that ball to the pylon. Was his knee down first? It must have been the call. Ethan Wolf knows how to find the end zone. That ball got right through the hands of Devontae Bond somehow. Good call.
At the 1. 3rd down and goal. 10th play of the drive.
The ruling on the field is that the runner was short of the goal line. The previous play is under further review.
So they will take a look at this. A little different angle for you here.
His elbow's
down at the 1. So I don't think they're going to have a lot of trouble with this one.
Another nice play by Sanchez. Good hit, driving him out of bounds, short of the goal line.
What a start for Tennessee, though. First, the Sooners get into their territory. They come up with an interception, which is their first one of the year, and then take it all the way down to the 1 yard line where it's going to be 3rd down and goal. If I'm Butch this early in the game, I'm not sure I'm not thinking 2-down territory right here.
Maybe so, especially the way this crowd was to start the game.
Yeah.
If you could get a touchdown on your opening possession, it would electrify this crowd.
There's not an empty seat in the house. Here's a call.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed, short of the goal line, 3rd down.
Good call. They had a look. They were right to start with.
Oklahoma last week played outstanding defense against Akron. Only gave up 3 points, under 300 yards, but a much different challenge with this Tennessee offense. A dual threat quarterback, a good core of receivers, and 2 outstanding backs. And right now they've got their back against the wall.
Kamara in there. Dobbs is under center for one of the few times, and it is Kamara. Got hit at the line, didn't get there. Sanchez, I think, was the first guy there, and then Stryker cleaned up, and it is 4th down, and it's decision time for Butch Jones. You can hear what the fans want.
Well, I know what Butch is thinking. Let's get points on the board first. I don't know that this is automatic.
And it's not.
But I kind of tend to agree with you. I might have gone for the touchdown here.
Medley was 1 out of 3 last week. He missed from 42 and 29. He did hit a 31-yarder. This will be a 19-yard attempt, basically shorter than an extra point, and he knocks it through. So Tennessee on the board first. They turn an interception into a field goal, and they're out in front 3-0. Vol Navy out here in the Tennessee River right outside Neyland Stadium, where the Volunteers lead 3-0 on a field goal of 19 yards.
Nice drive by the Volunteers. Good balance. 5 runs, 5 passes.
50 yards in 3 minutes, 10 seconds.
I would expect that next time, if they get in the red zone that deep, to see Josh Dobbs carry the football, pick up that extra blocker, knowing that this is a very tough Oklahoma run defense. One of the best in the country last year.
They had 1st and goal at the 5 and had to settle for Medley's field goal, and now he's set to kick away to Alex Ross and Duron Neal. Ross, an all Big 12 return man a year ago. This one again blasted out of the back of the end zone as we check in with Adnan Burke for the first time today. Adnan. Oh, wow. That is tough for the Irish. Here, Baker Mayfield's had a tough start, already threw an interception. And now they empty the backfield into a 5-receiver set. Baker Mayfield all by his lonesome. On 1st down, steps up, flushed out of the pocket. He'll run it. No, he's going to throw. And he throws a strike down inside the 30-yard line. Joe Mixon out of the backfield. Flag down, though, back in the Sooner backfield. So hold the phone. It's all coming back.
Yeah, I think they're going to get the freshman left tackle, Orlando Brown, holding on Derek Barnett, who last year set a freshman record with 10 sacks, one of the best pass rushers in the SEC.
Offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty, replay 1st down.
Orlando Brown is going to be a great football player. Very athletic, very big. But he's working against a very quick guy, and when you're playing on the road against a fast edge rusher, you're at a real disadvantage as an offensive tackle because of the crowd noise and the snap count. And there you see the grab around the neck.
Orlando, the son of the late Zeus Brown, who played several years in the NFL, played at Peachtree Ridge High School. He was the biggest human being in Duluth, Georgia, I can tell you that, because I lived there. On the ground, only about a yard from Mixon. So a 50-yard difference on the pass play and the penalty.
Yeah, that penalty really negated an outstanding play by Baker Mayfield of keeping his poise, leaving the pocket, and never allowing his eyes to lead downfield. That allowed him to spot Mixon behind the defense.
Baker didn't want to find himself in this spot right now. 2nd down and 19.
Just try to get some of it back. You don't have to try to get all of it back. See if you can get half of it back on this 2nd down play.
Again, they empty the backfield as Shepard comes out in a slot to the right side. He wanted to throw it to him on a quick screen, and holy moly, was that blown up by Jalen Reeves-Maybin. Wow.
Well, the timing got blown up first because watch Mayfield have to double clutch on this. There was a little bit of pressure in his face. He didn't get the ball out quickly, and that enabled Reeves-Maybin to get there and make the big hit for a no gain.
I'm not so sure Oklahoma just won't play it safe here and then punt, because there's not a lot of 3rd and 22s in the book.
And again, you've got 2 freshman offensive tackles going against 2 outstanding pass rushers on the edge for Tennessee.
And a whistle blows the play dead here.
Tennessee takes their first timeout of the half.
Timeout, Tennessee. 8:08 remaining, first quarter. Crowd is fired up at Neyland Stadium.
The crowd is amped up, and Tennessee with 2 outstanding pass rushers, Majid and Barnett on the end, and 2 offensive tackles that are freshmen and can't hear themselves think right now.
Perine asking for it, and he does give it off to Perine, trying to run the edge. He's going to get run down by the Tennessee defense at the 10-yard line. Loss of 3 more. And Barnett was chasing him.
Interestingly enough, we're talking about the noise and how it affects Oklahoma. That last time out by Tennessee was called by defensive coordinator John Jancic because he couldn't even hear to communicate the defensive signals to his Tennessee defense. But he got him straight at that timeout and a nice 3rd down stop.
A tough spot for a true freshman punter, Austin Siebert. Cameron Sutton had a great return game a year ago. He is last week I should say, very dangerous, and he's going to have a shot at this one. That's a fair catch it just inside the 45-yard line. Pretty good punt though. Flags down at the line of scrimmage. Deciding whether or not we're going to have to do it again. Mike, turn around. There you go.
During the kick, holding return team number 34. That 10-yard penalty being enforced from the end of the kick. Tennessee retains the ball, first down.
So Tennessee's going to lose some yardage back to the 35. Darren Kirkland with the holding call. Joshua Dobbs, the quarterback for Tennessee. Interesting young guy, 6-1 record in his 7 starts. Tennessee's offense really puts up points when he's out there. Last year led Tennessee to their first bowl win since 2008. I think more importantly, when you get together with him, he's one sharp dude.
Yeah.
He's a aerospace engineering major. You should see his class load. Holly went to class with him yesterday. I didn't even understand what some of the classes were that he was talking about. Here's a little sweep around the edge and a nice run. It's going to be a first down, in fact. Pig Howard, who didn't play last week due to a 1-game suspension, and that's what he does so well. He can be a running back or a receiver.
Well, you talk about fresh legs. Watch this spin move he puts on Eric Stryker, a great player for Oklahoma. Faked right out of his shoes on the spin move, and Howard advances and gets that yardage back from the penalty.
So first down at the 47. Jalen Hurd has been unable to get too much going, except that one run on the corner that got him down 1st and goal. He might get a pitch here. No, Dobbs is going to keep it. He's going to lose 2. Eric Stryker hung with him on the corner. Made the tackle.
Well played by Stryker. You know, you kind of get in a little cat and mouse game there with the quarterback and that edge guy. And that time Stryker beat Josh Dobbs.
There's Josh's mom, Stephanie. Both backs are in there with him now. Hurd and Kamara. 2nd down and 12. Dobbs under pressure and has to throw it away.
He was outside the tackle box and the ball crossed the line of scrimmage, so that's why there's no intentional grounding. There was no Tennessee receiver in the area. but he cleared the tackle box.
So it brings up a 3rd and long for the Volunteers.
Mike Stoops, the defensive coordinator for Oklahoma, a new twist for him this year. He's up in the press box. They feel like it's aiding in their communication, getting calls in faster. They also have a new defensive back coach, Kerry Cooks, who was at Notre Dame, doing a nice job keeping the back end together.
On 3rd and 12, Dobbs again flushed out of the pocket. Now he'll run with it. Heading to the sideline. He's over the line of scrimmage, isn't he? I thought he was. And I don't see a flag.
I think they're going to throw it late, possibly.
He looked like he was 1.5 yards over the line of scrimmage when he let go of that football.
It's good defense by Oklahoma. Devontae Bond was the first guy to create pressure to flush Dobbs out of the pocket. And then when Dobbs started to scramble, they didn't lose their coverage and their leverage down the field.
Illegal forward pass. Offense, number 11. The quarterback was across the line of scrimmage when he threw the football. 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Loss of down, 4th down.
Well, they wasted great field position, and they'll have to kick it away. You watch the black line as the line of scrimmage as Josh coming forward. And he's already 1 yard over, almost 1.5 yards, as I said, as he tried to get that pass out. It'll force a punting situation for Trevor Daniel.
Really good discipline by the Oklahoma defense on that scramble by the quarterback.
Sterling Shepard is going to get out of the way, and it's going to take a great roll for Tennessee. They knock it down around the 5. Good job on the special teams. A 54-yard kick, no return, and the Sooners will be buried near their own goal line when we come back. Baker Mayfield had a little bit of a struggle here in the first quarter. Last time he played in front of this many people, 100,000 plus, was at Texas, and he was sacked 7 times and threw 3 picks. Not off to a great start here today, and the field position's not helping him much.
Well, they've run 9 plays in their first 2 drives, only 21 yards. They started slow last week too, though. Took about 4 possessions to get going.
Give it to P. Ryan off the left side as he goes for about 3, and we check in with Holly.
Well, guys, I've got my decibel meter here to see how loud it is here on the field, and it has been deafening. It is about 114 decibels. Just to give you some context, a sandblaster is 115, a jet engine is 140, so it is so loud I saw them passing out earphones to the workers around here because it's pretty deafening.
I could barely hear Todd at the beginning of the game either. I just read his lips. Mayfield throws on the run, throws a strike out for a first down if he's inbounds to Durron Neal, and I guess he is.
Again, nice job by Mayfield keeping his poise and his eyes downfield when he's flushed out of the pocket. I like the moxie of this guy, just his body language when you see him, when you see how he interacts with the players. And remember, he was a walk-on. He just showed up at Oklahoma. He wasn't recruited by the Sooners.
The previous plays under further review.
Make sure that Neal was inbounds when he made the catch.
His right knee was trying to scrape. His left leg appeared to be airborne. It was a close one.
Ruled a catch on the field.
Wow, that's a bang-bang play. Bill Lamagna is our rules official up here in the booth with us. Bill, what do you got?
Well, if he's got, right now, it looks like the ball's coming in with control. He's got a knee down. Maybe just before that left foot goes out of bounds. At best, I think you'll see a play stands as called, but I don't think this will be reversed.
Great body control, no matter how you slice it, by Durron Neal, the senior out of St. Louis. Last year, Neal caught 7 balls for 71 yards against Tennessee, which was a career high for him. Sooners had 539 yards of offense a week ago, 439 of that through the air. And today they've struggled both throwing and running against this Tennessee defense.
once you see the official that's with the referee over on the side start to write things down, that's an indication that replay is going to reverse the call, and they've got to go back and get the previous spot, make sure the down and any situations with the clock are correct.
And Bill, why would they be reversing this? That his left foot was out of bounds before the catch was made?
They're saying probably because he didn't finish the process of the catch, or he didn't have control of the football. If that foot hit out of bounds, then we have an incomplete pass.
Gotcha.
So we expect the official call to come here in just a second.
You know, Bill, one of the things that kind of sometimes we get confused on, and viewers probably get confused on, you hear that, you know, the ball can't hit the ground. The ball actually can hit the ground as long as the ground is not aiding in the catch or the control of the catch. Right?
That's a good point. You got to get control of the ball first, and then if the ball doesn't move as it hits the ground, you're going to be okay with that catch.
I think this is more a question of his foot than it was the ball.
So Mike DeFee's waiting, and so are Butch Jones and Bob Stoops and about 103,000 of our friends. Again, the ruling on the field was complete, but we expect that that's going to be overturned.
You know, this is a big call for Baker Mayfield, because potentially instead of a first down, it's going to be another third down passing situation against this Tennessee rush.
Umpire having a chat with Butch Jones on the Tennessee sideline.
You know, the last time I think, Brad, that we saw Oklahoma,
After further review, the receiver did not have possession when his foot landed out of bounds. It'll be third down and 7 at the 9-yard line at the right hash.
that's a huge difference for Oklahoma. Instead of 1st and 10 and some new life, 3rd and 7 at the 9, and all of a sudden this crowd will get amped back up again.
And so will Derek Barnett and Majid and the rest of the crew on that Tennessee defense.
The guy you got to keep an eye on here for Oklahoma is Mixon out of the backfield. Excellent receiving skills and a quick guy to get the football to.
Mayfield near his own goal line. Fires near side into some traffic. And it's intended for Deron Neal.
Now that's a ball that needs to be caught if you're Oklahoma. Your quarterback throws in traffic, but he throws with confidence over the underneath defenders. And Neal, obviously distracted by those 3 orange jerseys and flying arms, can't secure the catch.
Second straight 3 and out for the Sooners. And again, Siebert, the freshman, set to kick. Cameron Sutton had to fair catch the last one. He's back at his own 45-yard line. No fair catch this time, but only about a yard on the return. Nice coverage by Oklahoma, but again, great field position for Tennessee. They didn't take advantage of it last time. We'll see if they do this time when we come back. The game's coming up later.
Well, I think 2 things here for Tennessee. They've got to take advantage of the field position advantage they've had all first quarter, and Marquez North has got to get involved in the game. He had no catches last week. They got to get him the football.
Here's Hurd trying to take it wide on the right side and cuts it back up. Had the blocking to the sideline, and he got 2 or 3 out of it.
So far in the ball game, Tennessee is average starting on their own 44-yard line as compared to the 19-yard line for Oklahoma, but all they have to show for it is a 3-0 lead.
The field goal when they had 1st and goal at the 5. Now they're back on the Sooners side of the 50 on a 2nd and 7, and Dobbs will keep it this time. Picked up maybe 2. Matthew Romar made the stop, and another 3rd down coming up.
Bob Stoops made a lot of changes on his coaching staff. We mentioned his brother Mike moving up to the press box. 2 other new defensive coaches on that side. Kerry Cooks, the defensive back coach. Dyron Reynolds, the new defensive line coach. And they've had a couple critical stops here with bad field position early in the ball game.
Another third down for Tennessee. 3rd and 5. Blitz coming. Dobbs hangs in, throws complete inside the 40. And it's Josh Malone for the first down.
Watch Jalen Hurd get a great chip block on Stryker. That is really helpful when a back helps your tackle by getting a chip block on the outside shoulder of a great pass rusher. That time, Jalen Hurd did a beautiful job for his quarterback.
First down for the Vols at the Sooner 36. Hurd gets the carry, and now he's got an opening. And an 11-yard run before the Sooners can bring him down. Ahmad Thomas might have saved a big gainer there.
Well, you've got to respect the quarterback. Watch number 94, Mac Nyman. He's frozen looking at Josh Dobbs, and Hurd runs right by him.
And again, it's Hurd who's starting to warm up here. He picks up close to 9 more.
You have to respect both guys, the quarterback and the tailback. And right now, that dual threat ability of Josh Dobbs is kind of freezing some of the Oklahoma defenders.
Got the Sooners on their heels right now at the 15-yard line. 2nd down and 1. And they pick up the 1 and a couple more. Jalen Hurd starting to get in a groove on this drive a little bit.
Nice block out in front by Dylan Weissman, the right guard out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Played at Coleraine High School, a real powerhouse in the Cincinnati area.
Hurd's got 39 yards now on 7 carries.
Late substitution. Some tired defensive linemen right now for Oklahoma.
Kamara's in the backfield right now with Dobbs. And he'll get the call. Inside the 10, close to the 8.
We talked about Lincoln Riley being the new offensive coordinator for Oklahoma. Tennessee with a new offensive coordinator as well. Mike DeBoard, a much different kind of coach. 30 years experience. He's coached in the NFL, coached a lot of years at Michigan. And right now he's got to be thinking touchdown. Again, they've had the field position edge. They've got to capitalize with a touchdown on this drive.
All 3 receivers to the right, and now one of them, Pig Howard, comes in motion on 2nd down and 7. Dobbs rolls that way, fires on the run, touchdown, Josh Malone.
Great job by Alvin Kamara, the tailback, with the block on Stryker. Enabled Dobbs to step up and find his receiver.
Malone, a couple of years ago in high school, Tennessee's Mr. Football. Right now he's the man of the hour at Neyland Stadium with the first touchdown of this season here at home. Aaron Medley in for the point after. So the Volunteers take advantage of their excellent field position this time as they go 51 yards in 8 plays in a little over 3 minutes, and that's how they're finding success tonight. Brought to you by Expedia. Ledge.
Well, watch Kamara get the block right here on the edge on Stryker right here. That enables Josh Dobbs to step up inside and then find the single coverage. Malone working on the nickelback Stephen Parker for the touchdown.
Malone, a great break to the outside and a perfect throw. First touchdown of this season for Josh Malone. He had 1 a year ago. And now it's Rocky Top time.
When you have that kind of field position edge, you have to capitalize. That was a huge scoring drive for the Volunteers.
If you're Oklahoma, you want to have an answer pretty soon in this place. Baker Mayfield knows that. Medley again blasts the kickoff out of the back of the end zone. 3 kickoffs, 3 touchbacks. Oklahoma will have it down 10 after we check in with Adnan Burke.
All right, Brad, thank you very much. Taco Bell studio updates. We told you earlier, Malik Zaire out of the game, and here comes Virginia. They have taken the lead. Last time Virginia beat a top 10 team was in 2005. They're on the verge of doing so with 1:54 left to go, leading it 27-26. A tight one continues over on ABC. Brad, back to you.
Thanks, Adnan. I don't know if it was Danny Cannell with those guys. Danny picked Virginia today. Somebody, one of our crew did. One of Adnan's cohorts up there. Be a good call if it holds up for the next 154. Here we got 156 left in the first quarter, and much like a week ago, the Sooners are struggling early.
They're going to go back 5 yards to start. Movement by D.D. Westbrook on the outside.
False start. Offense. Number 11. 5-yard penalty. First down.
They're a little discombobulated right now. We just showed you that graphic. The first 6 possessions last week against Akron, they stumbled out of the gate. But that was Akron. This is not Akron. Tennessee with a 10-point lead. Oklahoma has to think about getting some first downs right now.
You got to quiet this crowd down with some yards here. If you're Oklahoma, they'll try to get it on the run. They did get 5 of it back. Perine takes it out to the 25.
Yeah, no time to panic and no time to abandon your run because you've got 2 of your best players are your 2 backs.
Empty backfield. Mayfield to throw. He'll have to do it on the run again. He throws this one in the dirt. Perine's the closest guy there, and it's 3rd down and 10. That's Trevor Knight, who was the MVP of the Sugar Bowl we did a couple years ago. He struggled last year, lost his job, still one of the captains of the team. And he's looking on and hoping that Baker Mayfield can get something going here. 4 wideouts, 3 to the top of your screen. 3rd down and 10, and I think you can hear the noise that Mayfield is dealing with. Screen pass. Perine not going to get there.
I like the call. Tennessee really coming after the quarterback. If he picks up one more block, that's a conversion. Good, solid contained by Tennessee and force another punt.
Been a busy punter. Austin Siebert, the first true freshman to debut as both a place kicker and a punter. It's tough to do one of those jobs, much less 2 when you're a freshman, but he's done a nice job tonight. He's got Cameron Sutton on the other end, and he's backpedaling to the 15. Made the first man miss, not the second wave. Again, excellent coverage by the Sooners punt team. Now Tennessee up 10-0. Let's look ahead at what they've got coming up in the season ahead. 8 of their 12 opponents had winning records a year ago. Only 1 road game in the first 6, and that's Florida in a couple of weeks. And they're looking to break some long losing streaks to conference rivals. Florida 10 times, Bama 8, and Georgia 5.
Yeah, and as important as this game could be for the program and taking the next step forward, those conference games and those losing streaks in the conference, that's even more of an issue for Butch Jones and this team in terms of turning the corner.
Butch has won 43 of 50 when he's got the lead the end of the first quarter, and Rocky Top is screaming, and he's trying to quiet the crowd down so his offense can work here from the 16-yard line. Hurd out to the 19. Dominique Alexander made the hit.
Jalen Hurd had 4 100-yard games last year, including 122 against Iowa in the bowl game. Had 97 yards against Oklahoma in Norman, the most yards that Oklahoma gave up to a runner last season.
That was on 14 carries. It looks like he's going to get that many and probably more tonight. Got it again, but no gain on the play.
This is a huge play right now for the Oklahoma defense. If they can get a 3 and out and a stop on this play, they can finally flip the field position for the first time in the ball game in their favor.
We're not going to find that out until quarter number 2.
That's the end of the first quarter.
We played 15 in Knoxville. And the Volunteers of Tennessee at home have a 10-point cushion on number 19, Oklahoma. These fans got what they bargained for a quarter at least. A 10-0 lead as we head into quarter number 2. Brad Nessler, Tom Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our ESPN crew at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. Trevor Knight's warming up. I don't know if that means anything or not. We'll see.
Well, the guys that are counted on to make big plays for this Oklahoma defense, Devontae Bond 23, Eric Stryker 19. They could use a play right here.
Josh Dobbs in the gun on 3rd down and 6. Stryker's coming from the inside. Dobbs throws it in the turf. I think they wanted to have screen pass, and they had it blown up in their face.
Well, that shows you the experience of Eric Stryker. He was coming on a blitz, and he knew as soon as he was unblocked, he read screen and dropped back into the line of scrimmage. Watch Stryker as he comes on the blitz. He smells out screen right away with Kamara and kind of slows down, and well read by the Oklahoma defense.
Trevor Daniel to punt. That's Sterling Shepard back for the Sooners. Woo, got all of this one. Shepard running it far back as he can get, and now he's got to get out of the way. Great punt down at the 21-yard line. 58 yards and no return.
Well, just when I thought Oklahoma was going to flip the field with field position after that 3rd down stop, a booming punt and another long field for the Sooner offense, which is yet to get on track.
Second and third quarters have been the good ones for them, so let's see if that happens here in the opening 15 seconds of quarter number 2.
They've run 15 plays. 9 of them have resulted in no gain or a loss of yardage, so have not got on track at all yet here in Knoxville.
Sterling Shepard is to the top of your screen. Their most experienced receiver from a year ago. Mayfield fires it out to him, and a leaping catch and a pickup of 7.
Shepard is a guy who, when healthy, is a big play guy. Last year, he had a nice season, but the last 6 games he was hampered by injuries, kind of hobbled down the stretch and wasn't nearly as productive. But when he's healthy, he's a big-time player.
Dimitri Flowers, a fullback, sets up on the right side, and that's where the run's going to come from Mayfield, and he tiptoes out of bounds with a 1st down.
Nice run, a little inside linebacker blitz, so they had the running back taken care of. Colton Jumper, the middle linebacker, blitzed right up the middle, and a nice read by Mayfield to keep the football for the 1st down.
At the 35, and both Mixon and P-Rod in the backfield with Mayfield. Now they shift out. Mixon comes out as a wide receiver. The throw to the outside, and it skips off the hands of Neal. Maybe a little bit too much smoke on that one again, thrown behind him a bit as well.
I think Oklahoma needs to try to attack down the field a little bit. Last week, this Tennessee defense gave up over 400 yards passing to Bowling Green and a lot of big plays down the field. They gave up 9 completions of 20 yards or more. So far, Oklahoma has not tried to attack down the field against this pass defense.
That's John Jancic, the defensive coordinator Todd was talking about earlier. 2nd down and 10. Play action. Mayfield directs traffic, throws, incompletes. Closest man was Shepard, but he was getting heat from Chris Weathered, and it brings up 3rd and long.
Yeah, that's a nice rush by Weathered on the inside, and when a quarterback gets that kind of pressure right up the gut, it makes it very difficult because you can't step up in the pocket. You have to flush out, and then that limits the field that you have to work with.
Sooners, this is the 3rd time they've had 3rd and 10 or longer. Having trouble hearing. Going to have to hurry on the play as well. Mayfield's going to air it out long. Incomplete, intended for Shepard. Emmanuel Mosley was right there with him stride for stride.
Mosley did a nice job knowing that he had the sideline to help him. And if a receiver allows you to just run him to the sideline and work him out, then you have the upper hand as a defender. I mean, that ball has to be absolutely perfectly thrown for Shepard to even have a shot to make a catch.
Siebert's done a nice job keeping Cameron Sutton from having any kind of impact as a return man. This one's high and short, and everybody needs to get out of the way of this thing. Oh, takes a great bounce for Tennessee. Only a 20-yard punt that time. And Tennessee, again, as they have all night long, will have excellent field position when we come back.
This week, Oklahoma defender Eric Stryker had some words about the SEC. His quote, I don't know why everybody is blowing you-know-what up there, you-know-what. He is very upset that the SEC gets so much love. He wants them to have to prove it on the field. They beat Tennessee last year. Now, he did put his money where his mouth is last year. He had a terrific game against Tennessee, but Butch Jones blew up that quote, guys. It was not just bulletin board material. It was in the weight room all over the complex, and it wasn't just laminated. It was like in its own special frame. They made a big deal of that quote. They said #motivation. Mike
Stoops said, we don't worry about Eric. He usually backs up what he says. Dobbs to throw. And great throw it was down to Josh Smith. And a first down at the 36-yard line. And flags down. There's bodies all over the place.
Well, right now, the balance of the Tennessee offense has this Oklahoma defense back on their heels. And a guy like Eric Stryker, as good a player as he is, when he is guessing and hesitant whether it's run or pass, you put him at a disadvantage. And Tennessee's balance right now has the upper hand.
The ruling on the field was the runner's forward progress was stopped. Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Wow. Not only a big play, but a big penalty.
They've been running so well, they go play action to get the good throw down the field, and then there's the penalty at the end. Jordan Thomas, number 7, trying to rip the ball out, instead almost ripped the helmet off.
Both Hurd and Kamara in the backfield, and now Hurd gets a call right up the middle. Jalen Hurd all the way to the 5.
See, they're just freezing Matt Diamond, number 94. Watch number 94 have to read the quarterback and the back. By the time he makes the decision to close on Hurd, it's too late. He's already by him.
They spotted at the 6 where it's first and goal. Tennessee up 10 and looking for more right here.
This was not a part of the Tennessee attack when they played in Norman last year.
Hurd again, bounces it outside to the 4. Zach Sanchez with a nice open field tackle. But Tennessee going 100 miles an hour right here. And they're not slowing down at all.
When you run the quarterback in this part of the field, you pick up an additional blocker. That's what makes it so difficult for defenses. Normally you try to outnumber the offense, but when the quarterback runs it, they have an additional blocker.
Dobbs will run it here with a convoy in front. Dobbs, touchdown, Tennessee. Second rushing touchdown of the young season for Josh Dobbs from 4 yards out. Medley out of the Ashford hold. 17-0. The leader of the Volunteers had that one all the way and knew he had it as he cruised to the corner. Touchdown Tennessee in a big lead. Takes you inside the drive as we look at that Tennessee touchdown.
Well, Jalen Hurd has 60 yards, so the fake is going to hold the defense. Tennessee's going to pull both guards and then run the quarterback, and that's going to leave one defender on the backside looking at 2 big bodies running at him. No help for Jordan Thomas, and Josh Dobbs easily into the end zone, but the running of Hurd set that play up at the goal line. But again, field position, Brad. Tennessee had bad field position and a great punt. Oklahoma, a poor punt, 34 yards difference. Tennessee uses a short field and scores again.
Aaron Medley hasn't allowed a run back on a kickoff so far tonight. Ross and Neal in a tandem at the 5. This one might be returnable. Little hesitation, and Ross brings it out. And he doesn't make the 20, and there's a flag on top of it.
Yeah, illegal block in the back by Dimitri Flowers.
There comes bad field position again.
And that was an easy call to make.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team into 36. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down.
Let's check in with Adnan before the next snap.
Brad, Danny's appreciative that you knew that he called Virginia over Notre Dame, but here come the Irish. Deshaun Kaiser to Will Fuller. His 19th touchdown the last 2 years, the most in the FBS. They went for 2 and it was good. 12 seconds left. They roar back for the win despite the loss of Malik Zaire, 34-27. Brad?
Now, good game. Here it's all Tennessee. Oklahoma's got 50 yards of offense and 4 punts. And again, they start inside their own 10-yard line for the second straight time at the 8. Play action. Mayfield's going to air it from his own goal line, and incomplete, intended for D.D. Westbrook.
You know, Butch Jones talked about, and all coaches talk about this, having to make great improvement from game 1 to game 2. In game 1 against Bowling Green, they gave up 30 points, but more alarming, over 400 yards passing to Bowling Green. So far in the game tonight, their coverage has been more sound, their pass rush has been consistent, and Oklahoma has not been able to generate anything on offense.
Mixon, the tailback, is actually standing in his own end zone. He'll get the carry, and he got popped at the line of scrimmage and bounced it outside. Good run by Mixon out to the 14-yard line. Looked like that was going to go for nothing, and he got 6 out of it.
And this is where, if you're Oklahoma, you need your quarterback to find a way to make a first down here. You've got to do something to turn the tide in this game. And it starts by making first downs. Don't worry about touchdowns yet. Worry about first downs.
It's been 5 years since they rallied from this big a hole. Big 12 title game against Nebraska. Huge third down here, even though we've still got 11 minutes and change left in the second quarter. Clock winding down, play clock at 4. The run is Mixon's again, and he got the corner. Best run of the night so far for Joe Mixon.
Boy, really nice job by Mayfield getting the play communicated, and then watch D.D. Westbrook, number 11, out on the perimeter, holding his block on Sutton. That allowed Mixon to get to the corner and tack on extra yardage. Nice audible at the line of scrimmage by Mayfield.
Now it's Samaje Perine, and he takes some volunteers with him for a 5 or 6.
This is an offense. Even though you've got a different coordinator and a different style, you've got backs that can really play. They averaged over 261 yards a game rushing last year, best in the Big 12. You can't go away from that even when you're behind.
It's the most yards they've ever rushed under Bob Stoops in his 16 years. Nice play by Kurt Magid, dropping Perine for a loss. Here it is, third down again. And again, it's not a short one. Fans not making it easy on the Oklahoma quarterback. Quick throw to the outside on a little slip screen. Not going to get the first down, but out to the 40 goes Mixon, where it's 4th down and a long one. I don't think you can gamble in your own territory.
Not on the road. Bob Stoops is not one to shy away from a fake punt when the situation calls for it.
Good point.
But you're on the road and you're down 17. Pretty tough to make that call right here.
I'm not sure if you want a freshman faking a punt anyway. Siebert's last one was short. This time he got away a beauty. Great fake job by Sutton, but the ball's going to die at the 5. Sutton came up like the punt was going to be short. Perfectly located as it bounces at the 5-yard line. Since then, things have not gone that well, but in year 3, Butch Jones has the folks in Knoxville thinking that this is turnaround time after going 7-6 a year ago, and they're off to a tremendous start here tonight against number 19 Oklahoma. Hurd up the middle for a couple.
Right now, if you're Tennessee, especially with this field position, ball security, very important. You've got control of the game. You've got the upper hand because of your balance offensively, and you've had a field position edge the entire game until right now. So the worst thing that can happen is if you get careless with the football and give Oklahoma a chance to turn things around here.
Punt's not a bad thing.
Nope.
Second down, 7. And it's Dobbs straight up the middle. Stryker and Evans will bring him down. Makes third down manageable, though, on that rush by Josh.
Again, with this offensive attack, which is different than what Oklahoma saw last year, you've got to worry about Hurd, and you've got to worry about a quarterback that can beat you with his feet. So it forces you to be a little bit more conservative on defense. You can't just pin your ears back on a third down play. You have to be aware of the quarterback's running ability.
Looks like they're a little confused on the alignment here. Pig Howard was asking for the play call. Now they rush Josh Malone across the field. So 3 guys over there. Dobbs throws across his body, incomplete. Too high for Von Pearson.
Nice play by Stephen Parker. Got his left hand over the top, knocked that pass away.
Parker, they think, is going to be a star and maybe one of the best safeties they've ever had out of Jenks High School in Tulsa, Oklahoma, one of the powerhouses in that state. Alan Trimble, their head coach, has won about 1 million state crowns, I think, somewhere around there. Somewhere between 15 and 100. Sterling Shepard waiting on the kick of Trevor Daniel. He'll boot this one from his own goal line. Nice kick again. Wow. Shepard back to the 28 and backpedals to the 22 before he tries to come forward, and Tennessee's waiting for him. Great kick, great coverage. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, a big deal for Tennessee's defense right now. Their heart and soul, Kurt Magid, is making his way to the Vols locker room. On special teams, on a play, it looked like he hyperextended his knee. But as he's been speaking with the medical training staff, he's complaining more of some hip injury. I saw them give him some treatment options, and I saw the athletic trainer say, hey, to do that, we're going to have to take you into the locker room. So many possibilities of what they can do to help him back there. But they need him out on the field. A senior, Chris Weather, will likely replace him.
He led the team with 11 sacks last year, so that's a big chunk out of their pass rush. Straight up the gut, P. Ryan. Nice run, almost 9.
Just to follow up on that, the advantage that Tennessee has had in this game so far is that you have 2 outstanding rushers in Magid on one side and Barnett on the other side. Now, Oklahoma can kind of zero in on making sure they block Barnett.
Samaje Perine again. Going to be close to a first down. He might have rolled to it as Jalen Reeves-Maben had him tackled, but his body went over Reeves-Maben's, and I think that's going to be good enough for the first down. Head linesman says so. And they do move the sticks. First down at the 36. Mayfield, play action, throws a rocket out in the flat to Deron Neal. Best throw and catch so far in this game for Oklahoma.
That is a long throw from the left hash mark to the right sideline, and he's got to get it over and underneath zone defender. Watch him throw it right over the corner before the safety can come over. Beautiful throw by Mayfield.
This is only the 3rd play in Tennessee territory for Oklahoma, and the previous 2 are at the 49, which is basically midfield. So this is their deepest penetration. P. Ryan got a couple more. So we're down to 6:40 remaining in the half.
And the first possession that Oklahoma has started to show some semblance of offensive balance and continuity. That's Lincoln Riley new offensive coordinator, last 5 years at East Carolina, record-setting numbers with the Pirates there.
And his offense, the air raid attack, has quite a tree of coaches in it, starting with Hal Mumme back in the day. Mayfield blitz, got away from it somehow. Gets what he can and gets out of bounds without any further harm.
Colton Jumper came unblocked on the inside on a middle linebacker blitz, and Mayfield somehow escaped and then turned a negative play into a positive.
Well, you talk about having somebody dead to rights. Mayfield shows his athleticism to get 3 yards out of it and bring up a 3rd down and 5. They're only 1 of 6 on their 3rd down conversions.
Tennessee's
offsides, weren't they? Mayfield's got a free play, just overshot Jarvis Baxter.
Derek Barnett was the guy that jumped off sides. One of their best pass rushers.
I think the guy on the other end jumped too.
Smart decision by Mayfield going for a big play. He had Baxter open.
Offside. Defense, number 9, in the neutral zone at the snap. The 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
Again, with Majid out of the lineup, Barnett is the marquee pass rusher, and that time just a little early off the start.
Not only early, but Orlando Brown had a pretty good handle on him that time. 1st down at the 25. Joe Mixon back in the tailback spot. Mayfield trying to throw a slant, incomplete. Connor Knight, the tight end, was the intended receiver. Speaking of tight ends, a guy we haven't seen targeted yet, Mark Andrews, redshirt freshman who was pretty big a week ago with 4 catches in the win over Akron, and he has not been out there much. There he is on the sideline. 2nd down and 10. Both Mixon and P. Ryan again joining Baker Mayfield in the Sooner backfield. And now that's Mixon coming out of it. The keeper by Mayfield. Got some blocks on the corner. Tough run. Got down around the 18-yard line. Still going to be a 3rd down.
3rd and manageable, though. Nice decision. Good run on 2nd down. You leave yourselves with a lot of options on 3rd and 4, and you don't have to block those pass rushers as long when the yardage needed is only under 5 yards.
They need to get to the 15 for a 1st down. Mayfield has to get rid of it too quickly. Corey Vereen, I think, got enough penetration that he let that pass go before he wanted to.
Well, this was a designed rollout for the quarterback, and Vereen just beat 2 blockers up the field. This should not have been a problem for Baker Mayfield to get outside. They had 2 guys there to pick up the end, and neither one of them got a block, and Mayfield had to throw it too soon.
You've seen Siebert as a punter. Now you'll see him as a place kicker. 2 for 2 a week ago, including a 41-yarder. This will be a 35-yard attempt. Trying to get something on the board for number 19 Oklahoma. Siebert's kick is up and good. So the Sooners had to wait till under 5 minutes to put anything on the scoreboard here at Neyland. They're still down by 2 touchdowns. Let's see, just under 5 minutes left in the 1st half.
Well, Oklahoma let an opportunity slip by there. Watch, they're going to have Dimitri Flowers out here and would have been wide open, but these 2 guys are both going to miss the block on Vereen as the quarterback tries to get outside the pocket. 2 guys miss an easy block, and they can't convert. They gained 56 yards on the drive, the first offensive drive that they had that looked pretty good, and they blow an opportunity on 3rd down. Still got the points, but they could have had more.
Nick Hodgson to kick off. Evan Berry took it from about 4 yards deep. And Berry out across the 25 near the 28-yard line. Let's take a look at the quarterback comparison so far. Neither one has lit it up as far as throwing the football, but Josh has had a much better night so far.
Yeah. Well, that running game And it's not a lot of yards, but it's been enough to give balance to the Tennessee offense. Now, that last possession was the most balanced that we've seen out of Oklahoma, and maybe a sign of more promising possessions coming up. 103 yards rushing in the first half for Tennessee.
Rodney Anderson on the special teams is the guy shaking up for Oklahoma. And they're working on his lower left leg. And he got rolled up on, I think. Yep. That's friendly fire there on the special teams. We got a moment here, and let's get an update from Adnan back in the studio.
All right, Brad, thank you very much. Toledo and Arkansas over on the SEC Network, down by 6. Brandon Allen, the intended target is Hunter Henry, who went to high school at Pulaski Academy, 5 miles from the stadium. No good. However, looks like Arkansas is going to get the ball back. They're down 16-12 with 52 seconds to go. Could be a major upset brewing. Brad, back to you.
Man, what is going on today? Jackson State had Auburn on the ropes until the last 35 seconds in SEC play, and now Arkansas might get picked off. Here, Tennessee doing what they wanted to do, is facing a top 20 opponent in Oklahoma, and they've controlled this game through the first 2 quarters so far. So again, injury on the special teams. And Kurt Maggitt, I guess that's maybe good to see that we think he hyperextended his knee earlier in the ball game, and he's trying to work it out right now. Coming into this one, both teams were trying to find out, Todd, what they were made out of a little bit, I think. So far, I can see why the Tennessee fans are fired up, because they look really good.
Well, and I think the reason they're really fired up is they watched this defense give up over 400 yards passing offense a week ago to Bowling Green.
Right.
And so far tonight, they have really handled a very explosive and powerful Oklahoma offense.
You know, we talk about it all the time. There's hidden yards in football games that really don't show up on the stat sheet, but the field position has been remarkable for the Volunteers.
Yeah,
tonight.
and they didn't take advantage of it early, but now they have. They've used that to their advantage. They've got the lead, a 2-touchdown lead, and a big part of that has been their advantage in field position. I think their kicking game has been more superior here in the first half as well.
Well, in his 3rd year, Butch Jones has got this city fired up, and this nation, this Vol Nation fired up, and certainly tonight they came out 103,000 strong, and they've been happy with what they've seen here in the first half. Again, our concern now is with the injured Oklahoma player, Rodney Anderson, a backup running back, and I think they're bringing out the air cast. So that would indicate not good. Rodney is out of Katy, Texas.
Now this is where, when you see also, you compete and you go against each other, but when something like this happens, you see everybody come together.
Yep.
Both teams, both training staffs, both medical staffs, and you hate to see this.
Coming up, we'll have the Buick halftime report. Adnan was talking about it, and I mentioned it too. Auburn squeaks by Jacksonville State. Arkansas in a shocker. The Irish had to come back in the final minute to win their game over Virginia. Those just a few of the stories those guys will have, and other scores and highlights from around this 2nd week of college football. I wonder how many people right now are looking at this score that may not be watching the game and just looking at the score and go, there's a shocker in Knoxville. I don't think anybody expected a 2-touchdown lead for Tennessee. And the Volunteer fans giving a big round of applause to Rodney Anderson as he's going to be heading to the locker room. That's an amazing thing. 2 teams, 2 programs that are so, I guess, drenched in tradition. And we've been here since Thursday.
Yep.
We've got a whole bunch of Sooner fans in our hotel, and they were telling me last night they've never been around a group of fans that have been nicer to them. So everybody in Crimson and Cream that showed up, and they got a pretty good turnout here. They've been treated pretty well by the folks in Knoxville. That's kind of nice.
Well, and there's another team that sometimes fan base comes in here dressed in crimson. They're not so nice.
No, they don't like them much.
But these guys, they're not used to seeing the first trip to Knoxville for Oklahoma. So they're very cordial, very friendly.
Well, Alabama's a little different story.
Just a hair different.
It's amazing. Last night we were at Litton's Market and Bakery, and Barry and Eric and Kelly were taking care of our entire crew because it's our director's birthday today, Scott Johnson. So we had a birthday party last night. So we're all in there having the greatest burgers in the South. They bring out 3 birthday cakes for Scott. We ate a half of each of them. We took the other 3 back to the hotel. We set the orange one down, the orange cake, in front of the Sooner fans. They thought it was poison. They said we can't eat the orange, but we can eat the red velvet.
Right.
So they scarfed that up.
They could eat that one
and
too.
the strawberry, and the Tennessee fans ate the orange cake. So the cake's all gone. Here's Dobbs, pressure coming from behind. Josh will keep it and just get about a yard before he goes out of bounds. Matt Diamond and Stephen Parker were giving chase.
We met with Josh Dobbs yesterday. His entrance to our meeting was maybe the most unique and interesting that I've ever seen.
Yeah, me too.
In a quarterback meet or a player meeting. Came in on, I don't even know what that thing was called. Looked like something out of Back to the Future.
Here's a straight ahead run. No gain for Kamara.
Some kind of a scooter, motorized.
Kind of like a Segway, only didn't have a handlebar.
Yeah.
He just came in like he was gliding into the meeting.
Yeah.
Says he saves his legs that way going around campus.
Pretty cool customer,
yeah,
that's
he
for
was.
sure. Take care of the football right here. Again, your team's in control, and you're going to get the football to start the 3rd quarter. So be smart with the ball right here, Josh Dobbs.
3rd down and 7. Steps up in the pocket. Not smart with the ball. I think his teammate got on top of it, though. He fumbled it. And it looks like Ethan Wolf, the tight end, covered it.
Well, we've been talking about Devontae Bond being a big-time player. Watch the quick rush off the edge. He gets there, working against a tight end. That's a hard assignment for a tight end to try to block a good speed rusher. Devontae Bond at 245 pounds and quick, very powerful, and he just overpowered Ethan Wolf to the quarterback.
First sack of the game will force a punt here for Tennessee. Trevor Daniel, as you look behind him.
That was almost exactly what Tennessee did not want.
On the bounce, Shepard got it at the 28. Nice return across the 40 out to the 44. So this is going to give Oklahoma a chance now. 3:05 remaining. And they still got a couple of timeouts left. Coming up Monday, we've got a double for you, football. It's only one Monday night, but it's 2 Monday night games. Starting off the Eagles and the Falcons at 6:55, and then it's the Vikings and the 49ers. Check out the Sooner alumni on Monday night. Sam Bradford, the new guy, Heisman Trophy winner at Oklahoma. DeMarco Murray led the league in rushing last year. And then in game 2, another great one from Oklahoma, an All-American in Adrian Peterson, who is back after missing almost all of last season due to a suspension.
Talking the other night, when we did Oklahoma's games when Bradford and Murray were on the same team, that was as good of an offense, maybe the best offense that I've seen in college football in a long, long time.
I think they had Jermaine Gresham at tight end too, didn't they? Throw over the middle is a perfect strike, and it's Sterling Shepard with a first down. So Oklahoma picks up 15. They're right back in Tennessee territory.
And plenty of time to get on the scoreboard again here before halftime.
A touchdown would be huge, but any points would be good. First down at the 41. Draw play. And Mixon got about 5 more. Plenty of time with 2 timeouts remaining. Took that one, the first one, early in the first quarter.
Again, key to remember, Tennessee playing without one of their real leaders and best pass rushers, Kurt Magid, as we see some substitutions along the defensive front. But Magid not on the field, and that's a big loss for the Tennessee defense.
Kind of looks like he's trying to talk his way back in there. 2nd and 6. Mayfield, quick throw. This one in some traffic. No flag. Knocked down Deron Neal, the intended receiver, and Mosley was right there with him.
Tennessee's coverage has been really solid tonight. The guys that I expected to see Oklahoma go after is that guy Emmanuel Mosley, and stay away from Cam Sutton, and also the starting nickelback Malik Foreman, number 13, who is starting as for the first time this year because of some injuries. And so far, they've all held up.
Big third down for Mayfield. And was there motion?
Yep, left tackle.
False start. Offense. Number 78. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
And when Orlando gets that body, 342 pounds moving in the wrong direction, it's hard to put the brakes on.
And you could see his left guard, Jonathan Alvarez, telling him, just look at the ball. Just keep your eyes on the ball. You'll know when to start. But the difference between 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 11 is pretty big because of the pass rush and how long you have to hold on to the football.
Saw the Volunteer sideline getting the crowd into a frenzy. 3rd and 11. Mixon got back the penalty yardage, and that's about it.
I think Bob might go for it here, though. You get half the yardage back with the run, and now you put yourself in a situation where you can do either one.
Would have been about a 53-yard field goal try.
Mayfield has done a pretty good job so far eluding pressure when he needs to.
Fourth down, blitz coming. Mayfield again intended for Shepard, and again Mosley was there. Tennessee takes over on downs.
Really good coverage. The ball was a little bit behind the intended receiver. If this ball's out in front of Shepard, it's a catch. It was a little bit behind on the back shoulder, and Mosley was able to strip it out.
Tell you what, Mosley's growing up in front of us, isn't he?
This guy showed up here in January of 2014, only weighed 145 pounds. He's still not huge, but he's put on about 25 pounds, and he has made a couple big-time plays on this drive.
Now, Tennessee has 2 timeouts and a minute 26 to work, and not bad field position again. Their own 36-yard line. Dobbs play action. The rush is coming. He's going the other way. Nice run by Dobbs, a first down run, in fact. And now they've got good enough field position to start thinking about points.
Well, you get to this point of the field and you make a first down. Now you can go into your hurry-up offense. Tennessee with 2 timeouts and a minute 15 left on the clock.
They're going to call that short of the first down, so it's second down and about a foot. Dobbs almost picked off by Zach Sanchez.
It looked like Josh Malone never saw the football. He never even made a play to the ball. Not sure he knew that the pass was coming to him, or if he just didn't pick the ball up.
Now, because they spotted that short of the first down on that run by Dobbs, that changes the complexion of this play a little bit. They got to get the third down before they worry about anything else.
Yeah,
you can see it's about 2 feet on third down.
Run it here. Clock will stop if they move the chains.
That they do. And Hurd got the first down and then some.
It's the one advantage of college football. The clock stops as they spot the ball and move the chains. You don't have to waste a timeout here. Get lined up, get your next play called, and you're ready to snap it when the referees blow it ready for play.
And they've got it at the 48-yard line. And now the clock is starting to tick. They're wasting some time here. Pig Howard in motion. Play fake, pressure. That's the last thing you want to happen. A sack. Devontae Bond. The second sack of the ball game.
Yeah, just a lot of action in the backfield. Jordan Wade, number 93, actually is going to be the guy that disrupts the play. From inside, and then Bond comes from the outside. Too much faking, too much action. That play took too long to develop, and Wade and Bond made him pay for it.
And now I think Tennessee's just going to say a 2-touchdown lead at halftime is not bad.
2-touchdown lead, and we get the ball to start the third quarter. So let's go in, regroup, and draw up our second half strategy.
We told you about Butch Jones leading after a first quarter being 43-7. He's 13-1 when he's up at half. He's got a nice halftime lead in front of a huge crowd at home. Tennessee in front as we send it back to the studio for the Buick halftime report. Kind of field and knocks Knoxville in a long time. Quick throw and high and intercepted. Holy moly. Dobbs rolls, fires on the run. Touchdown, Josh Malone. Dobbs with a convoy in front. Touchdown, Tennessee. And we welcome you back to ESPN's College Football Primetime, presented by Hilton. Halftime, and the hometown team out in front by 2 touchdowns. It's Tennessee 17 and OU 3. Welcome back, everybody, to Neyland Stadium. Brad Nessler and Todd Blackledge. You know it's a big game when they make caps like this. Oklahoma Touchdown Club gave me this last night. They weren't expecting their team to be down 2 touchdowns, and I'll be honest, I didn't think I was going to look at you in halftime and say, what do the Sooners got to do to get back in the game?
Well, they've got to be more efficient on offense. You know, they got to be better in their kicking game and more efficient on offense. They were 1 for 8 on 3rd downs, but the problem was their average yards needed on 3rd down was 9 yards or more. So they've got to do a better job on early downs, give themselves a better chance on 3rd down, and sustain the football. I think they showed some signs of that in the 2nd quarter, but they've got to get off to a great start here in the 3rd quarter.
Moments ago, Holly had a chance to talk to Bob Stoops and see what he has to say.
Coach, what do you want to see your offense do to be more efficient on 3rd down?
Yeah, you know, execute. We've had some guys open and missed them. A couple competitive catches we weren't able to make. Give them credit. They covered us well. You know, we played the whole half in a hole. We were backed up through kicking mistakes, not fielding the ball, penalties. And offense, they had the ball around the 50 or better the whole half. So we got to do a better job there as well.
Thanks, Coach.
Boy, that's a mouthful. Field position has killed them all night.
Yeah.
Their quarterback's still smiling. He's quite a character. Again, a guy that walked on at Texas Tech, left there, walked on at Oklahoma. The guys in his dorm didn't even know who he was until he got on their intramural softball team. They said, man, this dude can play. Who is he? Next thing you know, a year later, he's a starting quarterback, but he has struggled tonight. Evan Berry back deep. The kick to start the 2nd half. We'll chase him out of the back of the end zone, and we'll bring it out to the 25.
I think Josh Dobbs in this 3rd quarter is going to have some opportunities to throw the football down the field. I got to believe that Mike and Bob Stoops and that defensive staff said, look, we've got to clamp down on the running game and maybe commit some more bodies to the line of scrimmage. Tennessee had 6 impact plays, but they were all runs. They didn't have any throws down the field of 20 yards or more. I think they're going to have opportunity to do that here in the 2nd half.
So Jalen Hurd, who had a good first half, with Josh Dobbs in the Tennessee backfield on the first snap, and a blitz off the corner. Hurd going the other way, trying to get to the edge, got the corner, got a big gainer down the sideline. Jalen Hurd, his biggest run of the night on the first snap of the 3rd quarter.
Well, Ethan Wolf, the tight end, blocks Stryker, and Stryker loses contain. And so does Jordan Thomas. The first play out of the block for the Oklahoma defense. They have 2 guys lose contain on the edge, and Tennessee converts it into a big run.
Already the Volunteers on the Sooners side of 50 after a 31-yard gallop by Hurd. Here's a quick throw out to Josh Smith, and Josh Smith down the sideline. And right now, Oklahoma getting gashed in the first couple of plays of the 3rd.
And again, Ethan Wolf, the tight end, with the key block. This youngster out of Minster, Ohio, doing a nice job as a lead blocker. We saw him on the end of the line as a traditional tight end on the first play. That time he was flanked out as a wide receiver and got a block on the screen.
So 2 plays and 51 yards later, they're at the 24-yard line of the Sooners. This time, Hurd's going to get wrapped up. Nice play. Charles Walker, a kid they've been really waiting on. Highly touted out of Garland, Texas. A 300-pound sophomore makes a nice stop there.
They needed a negative play, that's for sure. A breakdown on the first play of the 2nd half, and a much-needed negative yardage play to get Tennessee's offense behind the chains.
That one a loss of 6. 3 wideouts for Dobbs. And off play action, pumps once. Now throws on the run and skips off the hands of Alex Ellis. Had he been able to corral it, it would have been a touchdown.
Well, he had Ellis right away, but he didn't throw it. It was a pop pass, and Ellis is going to slip behind the defense right away. See, he's open right now, but he doesn't get the ball. And on the second attempt, Ellis can't make the catch.
Devontae Bond was kind of in his line of sight the first time, and then still the pass was nearly completed. 3rd down and 16. So after 2 great plays offensively, that loss of yardage by Walker forces a 3rd and long. Dobbs plenty of time to throw. He's running out of it and trying to go back to his safety valve, who is Alex Ellis, again the tight end, and it's 4th down.
Nice pressure by Charles Tapper and Devontae Bond. Bond made a nice inside move, got to the quarterback along with Tapper. And I think Dobbs had to throw that before he really wanted to.
Nice Butch Jones yesterday. How much confidence do you have in your kicker? Took a long time to answer. That usually means maybe not that much. Again, he missed from 42 and 29 last week. Tonight he's 1 for 1 from 19 yards, but this one's a lot deeper. 48-yard field goal attempts by Aaron Medley would be a career long. And he's going to push it to the right. So Tennessee had a golden opportunity to start the 3rd quarter to get more points, and they don't. And that gives Bob Stoops and the Sooners some hope. The SEC on ESPN from Knoxville, where the Volunteers missed an opportunity to add more points. Let's check in with Holly.
It's big news for Tennessee's defense. Kurt Magid, their big-time leader, is out right now. They don't update us on injuries, but my observations tell me he is unlikely to return. He does not have his helmet. He's got a rally towel. He just tried to rally his troops. He's rallying the crowd right now. It looks like he is unlikely to return with a right hip injury.
That's a big loss. It showed up already before halftime. Taken away from their pass rush especially. Here's Mayfield. Nice little move to dip it outside. Lost the ball as he's knocked out of bounds by Todd Kelly. Todd Kelly had the first big defensive play of the game for Tennessee with the interception in the first quarter that led to a field goal.
Oklahoma offensively just has to be efficient on 1st and 2nd down and give themselves a chance on 3rd down. And they've got to look for opportunities to make some plays down the field. This is an offense that is built on explosive plays, and they just haven't been able to manufacture many in this ball game. Only 3 in the first half. 2 runs of 10 yards or more, only 1 pass of 20 yards or more in the ball game.
After that run by Mayfield, it's 2nd down and 6. He'll roll with Perrine in front of him and throws complete, and it's a 1st down. Catch by Sterling Shepard. They haven't gotten anything deep. They've thrown deep a few times, and Shepard's usually the guy they can hook up with.
They got 1 throw down the field on a scramble, but they haven't been able to really stretch this defense. And the credit goes to the secondary and the pass defense.
The ruling on the field, it's a completed catch for a 1st down. The previous plays under further review.
So it'll go up to the replay official, John Bible. Here's a look from behind. Oh, nope. That's not going to be a catch.
Nope. That bounced right back up into him. Did not control it before it hit the ground.
He disguised it well, but he had his back to us when we said it was good, and then rolled and actually got possession, but that one will be coming back. Crowd just got a good look at it, and their reaction obviously is going to be that it won't be a catch.
This shouldn't take very long.
Nope. Well,
you know, again, it's worth mentioning this pass defense for Tennessee last week gave up 433 yards to Bowling Green. Now, we learned today Bowling Green's a pretty good team. They beat Maryland 48-27. So they're a good football team, and they could throw the football, but a great improvement in the pass defense overall. John Jancic, the defensive coordinator, Willie Martinez, who's sitting up here next to us, longtime defensive back coach. They've got to be really pleased with their pass defense so far in this ball game.
John Jancic and Willie Martinez have coached together for about 15 years together, and sometimes one starts a sentence, the other one ends the sentence for him. And Willie was suspended for 1 game for a minor recruiting violation last week, and that kind of disrupted what they were doing from the booth to the field and the communication. So having him back was big.
After further review, the ball hit the ground. The pass was incomplete. 3rd down and 6 at the 34-yard line.
So So a big difference, obviously. 3rd down and 6 upcoming.
Big difference, but an opportunity for Oklahoma to convert here. 3rd and 6. They were 1 for 8 on 3rd down in the first half, but they averaged needing 9 yards every time they got in 3rd down.
There's the backup quarterback, Trevor Knight. There's the current quarterback, Baker Mayfield. Big play here early in the 3rd. Empty backfield. Mayfield flushed out of the pocket. He's not going to make it out of the pocket. Oh, he got away, but tripped up anyway. Barnett had a hold of him. And he finally goes down in his 4th down.
Well, he had pretty decent protection. Orlando Brown does a decent job on Barnett and is working him around the pocket, but Mayfield nowhere to throw the football early. And as he tried to flush out, Barnett's speed got him from the backside.
Cameron Sutton's been bottled up by the punt coverage of Oklahoma so far tonight. And he's not going to have a chance to return this either. Has to get out of the way as it rolls down around the 25-yard line. So Tennessee will have it on offense again with a 2-touchdown lead as we give you tonight's AFAC trivia question. We're the only 2 FBS teams to never have 8 or more losses in a season. Think that one over. We'll let you know a little bit later. I'm assuming one of them is one of the teams we have here tonight. That's just a guess.
Yeah. We've talked about the crowd and the noise a lot tonight. Prior to this, Oklahoma played against Texas in the Cotton Bowl one time. 96,000. The largest true road game at Ohio State in 1977. 88,000. Over 100 here tonight.
And a loss by Dobbs on the play, and it was Stephen Parker again coming around the corner and Charles Walker from the inside.
See, again, I think that Oklahoma is going to try to squeeze down on Josh Dobbs, and they're going to leave some opportunities to throw the football down the field.
That guy doesn't want to give you the time to throw, though. 19. Tight end Ethan Wolf in motion. They're going to lob it out there on a wide-out screen. Not much of a gain for Josh Smith. I beg your pardon, Juwan Jennings.
Nice play by Jordan Wade, the defensive tackle, reading that screen and moving from inside to out, right down the line to stop that for a relatively short gain.
Center judge comes up to hold things up for a second. And now backs out. On a 3rd down and 6. Play clock at 3. Dobbs throws complete. 1st down throw. Marquez North. Finally, number 8 gets a hand on a ball. That's his first catch.
Well, he's a big target, and when he's healthy, he's a big-time player for Tennessee. Had labrum surgery last November, came back from that, then missed some time in camp this summer with a knee injury. And his first catch of the season.
Both backs are in there, Kamara and Jalen Hurd. And now whistles. And it plays blown dead. False start.
False start. Offense, number 3. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Josh Malone, the wide receiver. He'll come out. They'll back it up 5 yards. Back to the 33-yard line. Again, almost motion by Hurd trying to get set in the backfield. And right now, Tennessee's offense just looks a little disoriented or something. Seem a little indecisive, and they're not gaining much yardage. They're getting 3 here and 3 there, and then they go back 5, and they have 2nd down and long.
Good screen down here if you're Tennessee.
Pressure coming. Dobbs got away from one man and had to throw it in the dirt, intended for Quez north again. Zach Sanchez was the guy applying the pressure.
I think they were going to try to set up a screen to Hurd, but the corner blitz really rushed the play, and they didn't have any chance to let it develop.
Zach Sanchez, all Big 12 a year ago. Now you look at Mike DeBoer, the offensive coordinator. Dobbs wants to go on a deep sideline route, incomplete, intended for Von Pearson, and good coverage by Parker again.
Good pressure and good coverage. You know, sometimes you don't always get a sack, but if you make a quarterback uncomfortable, or if you make him throw it before he really wants to, that's a win for your defense and your pressure. And that time, Oklahoma able to generate that kind of pressure.
Sterling Shepard waits on the punt back around his 15-yard line. Has to backpedal to the 10. And got back near the 20. With 9:16 remaining in the third quarter. Can Oklahoma get something going offensively? We'll find out when we return.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by New York Life and Popeye's $5 Bonafide Big Box. This is a meal.
Neyland Stadium sold out tonight. 102,455 on hand. That's a good look. Tennessee by 2 touchdowns.
Baker,
he must be an aerospace engineer like Josh
yeah,
Dobbs.
Maybe so. Maybe he was in that class with Holly today. Or yesterday, I mean.
All right. Can Oklahoma get something going?
Mayfield only one of his last 6. 7 for 21 on the night.
First down from the 20. In trouble again. It's going to get decent yardage compared to what could have been. Almost got sacked and picked up about 3 yards.
You know, one of the things we've talked about Majid being out. One of the guys we didn't mention that's not playing tonight, and Tennessee was concerned. Danny O'Brien, their starting defensive tackle, suspended for this game and indefinitely suspended. A starter on the inside. And they're playing a lot of young players, a couple true freshmen that are rotating in there, and so far holding their own quite well.
Baker Mayfield gives it off to Mixon, and he's dropped for a loss. Owen Williams from the defensive tackle spot made the hit.
Well, right on cue. He's not a young guy. He's a 5th-year senior, but playing more in this ball game than he might have had O'Brien been in the lineup. I think they're calling for a chop block as well.
Yep. Things go from bad to worse. Bob Stoops said to Holly at halftime, said too many penalties, untimely, bad field position. It all adds up to where they are right now again. 5th time they've had 3rd down and 10 or longer. Last week Bowling Green got a lot, but as Todd said, maybe they're a pretty good team. Tonight the number 19 team in the country is not giving them any trouble so far. Tennessee almost jumped. They get back in the neutral zone. The clock winding down to 10. Crowd is deafening. Mayfield throws on the run. High tip.
That's
incomplete.
They're not calling. I thought there was contact on the receiver before the ball got there. The throw was a little bit high as Mayfield was flushed out of the pocket.
Yeah, I'm with you.
There was body contact before the ball was there. That should have been pass interference on Cam Sutton. Tennessee got away with one there.
So Ledge, the Sooners are 1 for 10 on 3rd down. That's not going to win it.
And again, it's the yardage needed. It has been what's killing them. Those long yardage situations on the road. crowd noise and young tackles.
And now the crowd in a frenzy as they're going to be punting from their own goal line again. Holly says it's 107 on the decimal meter. High kick, fair catch taken, but at the 44-yard line. You can't ask for any better field position than that. Tennessee will have it back with a 2-touchdown lead with 7:49 left when we return. Now time to answer our Aflac trivia question. We asked you who are the only 2 FBS teams to never have 8 losses or more in a season. I kind of guessed maybe one of these teams would be one. Tennessee and Ohio State. Smokey's going, do I really have to wear this? And by the way, I smell a raccoon.
Do dogs get embarrassed?
I don't know.
If they do, I'm sure he was embarrassed.
Again, good field position for Tennessee. Throw, back shoulder, a miss intended for Marquez North. And Jordan Thomas had the coverage over there.
So far in the second half, the Oklahoma defense has locked it down pretty good. Neither one of these offenses are exactly tearing it up. Tennessee 222 yards of total offense. Oklahoma only 160.
Here's Kamara trying to sweep the right side, and he's going to be dropped right about at the line of scrimmage by Dominic Alexander. Alexander led that club in tackles a year ago and also led them with 12 in the 34-10 win over Tennessee in Norman. 3rd down and 9. Josh Dobbs is only 3 of his last 10 in the air. And 3 of 11. Again, another screen pass that was either ill-designed or Oklahoma was waiting for it. One of the two.
Well, and you called it a little bit earlier. They look out of sync offensively. They don't look as smooth as they did earlier in the ball game. And part of that is due to the Oklahoma defense, no question.
Trevor Daniel the kick. Sterling Shepard. Special teams play would help the cause if Shepard could get a decent return, but he's got to call fair catch again back at the 11-yard line. 17-3 here. Let's see what else is going on as we check in with Adnan Verk.
Brad, thank you very much. PNC Saturday Insight. Oregon taking on Michigan State. After the Ducks scored, Connor Cook responds. Josiah Price, 3 plays, 75 yards. It's over on ABC, 7-all right now, midway through the first. Brad, back to you.
All right, Adnan, thanks. Oklahoma, again, terrible field position just outside their own 10. They've been held without a first down on half their possessions. They're 1 for 10 or 1 for 11 on 3rd downs. They don't want to get to 3rd down. Get something done on 1st and 2nd. Again, an empty backfield as Mixon goes out in a slot to the right side. 5 receivers for Mayfield. Going to try to go deep again. And again, Mixon, the intended receiver, and a flag down in the backfield.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter. And you hate early in the year to start into a quarterback situation, but you got to ask the question if Lincoln Riley and Bob Stoops are thinking at all of Trevor Knight.
Offense, number 56, penalties decline, 2nd down.
And the only reason I think it makes any sense is because of his ability to run as a quarterback, because they're having trouble sustaining drives and making any kind of big plays. His ability as a runner might be worth considering. I don't know that you do it right now. Trevor Knight did beat this team in Norman a year ago and threw for over 300 yards in that ballgame.
And also rushed for 1. Straight up the middle. P. Ryan's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage again. Derek Barnett showing why he was so special a year ago, and he's just getting better. Freshman All-American last season.
Well, you see the maturity in a player who, as a freshman, loves to rush the passer and gets great numbers with that, but then having the discipline to play the run as well. Nice job on the handoff that time, and another 3rd down and long for Oklahoma.
As we said, and you just saw, they've only picked up 1 third down all night. You got to be careful on this spot on the field as well. Mayfield, look out. Got away from 1 and 2 and tripped up as he got to about the 12-yard line. Jalen Reeves-Maben got him in the ankles, and they'll have to punt again.
Tennessee's defense has been able to one-dimensionalize Oklahoma's offense. I mean, the running game has not been much of a threat. And so they've been able to get them into a lot of third and long situations, then pressure the quarterback, and their coverage has been sound in the back end of the defense.
Siebert, another nice kick. Sutton takes it around the 41-yard line. With 5:36 remaining in the third quarter, we're still stuck on 17-3 Tennessee, and the Volunteers good field position again when we come back. When we're done, Leonard Fournette and LSU ranked 14th. SEC showdown with Dak Prescott and number 25 Mississippi State in Starkville, 9:15 tonight. We showed you what Dak Prescott did a year ago in the matchup. Leonard Fournette, freshman record for LSU last year, one of the great running backs, and there's a bunch of them in the SEC.
And you wonder, you hear coaches, and we talked about the improvement from game 1 to game 2. Mississippi State played last week. LSU's game was canceled, so this is their first game, and it's in a hostile environment on the road in Starkville.
I would say in the first half of this game, Tennessee made a major improvement, and defensively that's continued, but their offense has been a little stagnant as Josh Dobbs takes the carry and picked up close to 5. He actually had 89 yards rushing last week in the win over Bowling Green, and if you take away the sack total, he would have had over 100. So they would have had 3 guys in their backfield that had over 100 yards.
Well, they ran for 399.
They run it here with Hurd, and tough run for a first down. Let's check in with Holler.
Jalen Hurd has made big changes in his life and having great success on the field. One of the biggest changes is he's sleeping more. Tennessee actually has a sleep coach, and Jalen Hurd is one of 34 kids participating in that study. They track how much he sleeps, so he's recovered completely. He looks pretty fresh.
Fresh enough to have over 100 tonight on 17 carries, I should say. Boy, they get into everything nowadays, don't they? Sleep coaches and nutrition and everybody trying to get ahead of the curve. And it seemed like it started with Chip Kelly, and it's gone all over college football and the pros.
He was one of the real innovators in a lot of the sports science things. Butch Davis, Kevin Sumlin, we talked last week, doing very similar things. Butch and Kevin, good friends. Changing the way they practice on Thursdays, on Fridays. Looking for an edge.
Big Howard in motion. Dobbs, nice throw. One of his most impressive of the night, in that he knew where he was going and he put it right on the money. I think they're going to mark it short of the first down.
Well, you had the good run by Dobbs the first play of this possession. You had the nice run by Hurd, and then the little misdirection action freezes that defense. It makes you respect the run and opened up a passing lane behind the linebackers for the throw.
Third down and a couple of feet for Hurd. Oh, man, he had to fight for it, but he got it. Jordan Evans met him in the hole, but his forward progress got him the yard he needed. He's not your little scat back. You can see Jalen Hurd's a big guy.
Kamara in now.
On a first down for Tennessee at the 37 of Oklahoma. Clock winding down to the 4-minute mark remaining in the third. Whoops, your knee is down, Von Pearson. Loss of a couple. We mentioned so many young guys on this Tennessee team, and what Butch Jones has done recruiting wise in the last couple of years since his arrival, considered in the top 5 of any team in the country, and he's got to keep the good ones home and the ones that are in Georgia right across the border, and then go likewise everywhere to bring Tennessee back to where they once were, and they're getting closer. That's what everybody's so excited around here. That's not a good play. That ball is Still free, and it's Stephen Parker. Have they blown it dead?
I think the referee blew it dead. I think he blew it dead. Good job by Oklahoma staying with the play.
There's forward progress prior to the ball coming out. Third down.
Forward progress is always a difficult call.
It's ripped out of there by Parker and then scooped up, and you think you can hear the whistles in the background. Ball's coming out right there. His knees weren't down yet. Bill LeMonnier's our man in the booth.
Well, Brad, what we've got is if the officials on the field rule forward progress, it's not reviewable.
Yeah.
If it was a decision of down versus fumble, then they could review and give an immediate recovery. So non-reviewable play.
So it's 3rd and 25, but Tennessee still got the ball. And Dobbs is just going to throw it to the sideline. He's happy to get out of there.
Oklahoma's defense is playing at a much different level here in the second half. Consistent pressure. Devontae Bond, who has played well all night, is in pursuit. Dobbs just throws this ball away. Now, Butch Jones on the sideline was calling for a roughing the passer, at least maybe a hit to the head. And they might have been able to call something there had they wanted to. Good play by Bond, but he almost got a little too carried away.
So both coaches fired up, one for a fumble that could have been one way, and then the other thinking that his quarterback was roughed up a little bit. Tennessee defensively tonight, they've been very, very good.
Well, they have been extremely good, and they've rushed the passer from the outside, and they've stopped the running game. Oklahoma so far in the ball game only 162 yards of total offense. They have stuffed the run. They've played with good technique, and they've forced a lot of third down and long situations. So defensively, Tennessee, a much different looking football team than they were a week ago against Bowling Green on this same field.
Baker Mayfield still at quarterback. They have been living at their own 10-yard line, haven't they?
It just feels that way. It feels like they're playing uphill the whole game.
Mayfield got it complete to Mixon. There was a lot of traffic there, and he tucked it in there, and Mixon made something out of that, picked up about 8.
Somebody needs to make a play down the field for Oklahoma. I know Mayfield doesn't have a lot of time to throw the football, but somebody, whether it's Sterling Shepard, whether it's D.D. Westbrook, somebody needs to make a big play, a catch, make a guy miss, a big play down the field to get some chunk yardage for this offense.
And again, nothing's been easy as far as calling a play. Mixon short of the first down. And it almost looked like Mixon was going the wrong way, or Mayfield was. That wasn't a smooth handoff. Third down and 1.
You look out there right now, and we've talked about some of these young defensive linemen. Khalil McKenzie in right now, number 1. When's the last time you saw a defensive tackle wearing number 1? One of those 5-star recruits.
Makes him look thinner than 344. Tennessee brings everybody up close. P. Ryan's going to get the first down. He ran right where the extra bodies were coming, so give some credit to the offensive front of Oklahoma to dig in, dig deep, and pick up the first down of the second half for Oklahoma. And it comes with a minute to go in the third.
We mentioned some of the guys this Tennessee defense is missing in their defensive front. In the secondary, they lost their starting nickelback, Rashawn Golden, to a broken foot. A couple weeks before the season started, he was a key loss because he was a very versatile defender for them.
And DeMond Fawford, his career ended in the offseason due to injury. Oh, thrown right to Todd Kelly. Second interception of the night. Both by Kelly, and Tennessee's got it back.
Well, this is a total miscommunication between Baker Mayfield and Jarvis Baxter. Baxter broke in, Mayfield threw it out, and the only guy there was Todd Kelly.
What a night for Todd Kelly Jr., whose daddy is a former Vol, and Mayfield's thinking things can't get any worse. They can if Tennessee scores on this drive, that's for sure. A half minute remaining in the third. And now they have to cut Rocky Top short just so Tennessee can hear what they're doing offensively. And Hurd dropped the ball. Oklahoma trying to scoop it, and I think Tennessee got it back.
And that is 2 times in this ball game that Oklahoma has knocked the ball loose and not come up with the football. Late in the second quarter, they sacked Dobbs. The ball was on the ground. They didn't come up with it. This time, they tried to scoop it and run with it instead of covering it. Charles Tapper wanted to pick it up and run to the end zone. You got to get on that football. That is desperately what Oklahoma needs, is a turnover to give their offense a better feel.
How about Jalen Hurd, the guy that fumbled it, staying with it to recover the fumble and keep it in the Volunteers' hands as we played 3. Tennessee is led throughout. They've got a 2-touchdown advantage with 15 minutes left.
Over so big in a game like this. Tennessee 2 interceptions. Oklahoma's had 2 chances to turn the ball over. This was in the second quarter. They couldn't come up with it. Then moments ago, ball on the ground again. Oklahoma not able to secure the recovery, and 2 huge opportunities that have gone by the wayside for the Oklahoma defense.
So as we start the fourth quarter, Tennessee up 17-3. The ball at the 41-yard line. Couple-yard pickup for Dobbs on the inside.
When your offense is struggling the way Oklahoma's has struggled all night, your defense gets an opportunity to change the momentum of the game and maybe change field position with a turnover. You got to take advantage of it, and they've not been able to do that. 2 critical mistakes by the Oklahoma defense.
On third down, Dobbs, pressure coming, throws far side. What a catch. I don't know if it's going to be good enough for a first down, but Quez North went up and snatched that one. Oh, he's out of bounds. Yes, he was.
Yep.
Great catch, though. Just ran out of real estate. So Trevor Daniel will punt.
But Tennessee has an ability here, even though they didn't score, to maintain that field position advantage and make Oklahoma play uphill.
16th punt tonight between the 2 teams. Hit on the 1, but it made it to the end zone. So we're going to have Baker Mayfield coming out with the offense again after we check in with Ed Enberg. Ed, it's been a tough night for Baker Mayfield. 8 out of 22, 84 yards, and 2 picks by Todd Kelly Jr. This is some of their best field position. Todd, they're at the 20. Yeah. All 3 wideouts to the top. They'll keep it on the ground with Mixon. And he got about 3. And Oklahoma wants to go as quickly as they can. Play action. Mayfield was looking down the middle, and now he's got to scramble and gets tagged out of bounds.
I think he's leaving the pocket some before he needs to. He made the fake. He had protection. He looked downfield for an instant, and then he took off.
And Reeves-Maben let him have it on the sideline.
Very active player, Reeves-Maben. 101 tackles a year ago. Leading tackler last week against Bowling Green, and after it again tonight.
13 yards of third down passing. And they need 8 more right here just to keep a drive going. And they don't get it. Incomplete. Oh, flag. First time they've targeted Mark Andrews the tight end. And they're going to get an interference call on Colton Jumper, it looks like.
Yeah, Jumper, that's a disadvantage for him.
Defense, number 53, against an eligible receiver. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That's not just a tight end working on a linebacker. That's a guy with wide receiver skills.
Yeah.
You called for him earlier. He hasn't been a factor. He was a factor last week. He can flank out, play wide receiver, and he's big enough to play an online tight end.
His high school career through 3 years, he caught 207 passes for 3,674 yards and 48 touchdowns. So he's been used basically as a wide receiver his high school career, and now with Oklahoma. But he hasn't been a factor tonight as he was a week ago.
Officials timeout to work with the chains.
Officials timeout to work with the chains. I guess we got the change in the right spot. If you think Oklahoma's at bad field position, the best they've done this half is to get it to their own 34-yard line. Their own 34-yard line. Orlando Brown might have had a false start again.
False start. Offense. Number 78. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, the redshirt freshman, 6'8", 342 pounds.
Please set the clock to 13.
Oh, yeah, he
18.
definitely took off
13,
early.
18.
Working against Derek Barnett over on that edge.
Well, this young guy is going to be an outstanding player. He had an outstanding summer, and that's really what elevated him to the starting lineup. They didn't expect him to be a starter this year, but he really edged himself in front during summer camp.
Mayfield only got about a yard before he's run out by Todd Kelly.
And I think we're going to get a hold on Jonathan Alvarez, the left guard. So Oklahoma just can't get out of their own way.
Holding. Offense. Number 68. That penalty's declined. Second down. Decline.
He's working against Barnett in that case, and he's got his jersey and his legs and everything else.
Well, we saw a couple really good defensive ends from the SEC last week at Texas A&M, and this guy Barnett's been pretty impressive tonight for Tennessee.
Second down at 14. Mixon's going to flush out of that backfield. Empty set for Baker Mayfield. A quick throw to the outside and a good one. Completes. D.D. Westbrook, who hasn't been used too much tonight. Had 3 catches, including a touchdown last week.
Now, that was an important play because now at least you got some yardage that you can work with. It's third down, but it's third down and manageable. You've had a trouble on third all night, but at least you got a shot on this one. 2 of 12 coming into this play right here.
Third down at 3. Under 12 and a half minutes now. See if they swing it out to Mixon. They'll run it with a quarterback. Great fake, but the play's blown dead, and we got a flag, and we might have another false start.
False start. Offense. Number 54. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Now there's really a guy that can just look the snap from the center. He's the right guard.
Yeah. Well, and again, I mean, you go from third and short to third and long. Again.
Tennessee changing up bodies. Shepard comes out of the backfield. There's a wide out to the right. Mayfield running out of time again. Scrambling for his life. Got away from 3 guys. 4. throws on the run. It's tipped. Incomplete. Tipped by Jumper. And another flag, this one in the secondary.
Holding. Defense, number 53. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Yeah, they get a first down by penalty. A little bit of a gift there.
Well, another penalty on Colton Jumper, the young inside linebacker. When he gets exposed in coverage, he's had a little problem.
It's the second time, Todd, this drive that Tennessee's had a penalty on third down to keep it alive for Oklahoma. This is their best field position in the second half. They're at their own 44-yard line. Haven't been across the 50. They need to get across the 50 a couple of times in the next 11 minutes and 31 seconds. Mayfield complete to midfield. Jarvis Baxter took a big shot, but a pickup of 7. Now they are in Tennessee territory.
Tennessee defensively, they want to still be aggressive rushing the passer, but they don't want anything to get behind them in the pass game.
Perine broke a tackle, broke a second, and bounces out to the outside to get a first down. Remember, this is a kid that had over 1,700 yards rushing last year.
Broke the single game record, right, against Kansas.
Yeah, it lasted a week. He had 427 against Kansas, and then Melvin Gordon for Wisconsin beat that 7 days later. Tennessee's going to take a timeout, I think, here. Just under 11 minutes to play. Oklahoma at least has it on the Vol side of midfield. Still 17-3 Tennessee, as we welcome you back to ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Hilton. Don't forget, tomorrow morning starts your Sunday with the NFL Insiders team. All the latest headlines and breaking news. Then the Countdown crew goes inside the storylines as only they can. Meet the new NFL Sunday morning Insiders, and Countdown starts 10 a.m. tomorrow morning on ESPN. So we head into a big NFL weekend. It'll be capped off by a doubleheader on Monday Night Football. 1 first down for the Sooners this half that they've earned themselves. Mayfield had it tipped, incomplete. I think Jalen Reeves may have got a hand on it. It was intended for Shepard.
Yeah, he had Shepard open, crossing the middle of the formation.
Perine stays in the backfield with a 3 wide out look at the 39. Second down and 10. Oklahoma needs 2 scores. Perine, nice run off tackle. Gets it down to the 33. They want to get things going about every 20 seconds right now. It's pretty important. Once you hit that 10-minute mark, that clock starts disappearing in a hurry. Mayfield across the middle, a little bit behind D.D. Westbrook, but he got it and fights his way down around the 15-yard line.
Does a nice job protecting the football as he's fighting for that extra yardage too. Watch him covered up with both hands. He feels defenders coming towards him, and he does a good job of protecting it and keeping his legs moving.
For a guy that doesn't even weigh 170 pounds, that was a tough run after catch for him. Down just outside the 15-yard line, first down. Wide receiver screen, and now Duron Neal decides he wants to go the other way. And I guess he made something out of it. That was a long run to pick up 4 yards. At the 10-minute mark.
Okay, here we got a little wildcat for the first time. Baker Mayfield splits out as a wide receiver.
Joe Mixon's going to take the snap and give it off to Perine. So it's tailback to tailback, and might be enough for the first down.
And that's That's the other option. We talked about maybe Trevor Knight being in the game as a running quarterback to give him another threat. This achieves the same thing.
This time Mixon keeps it. Calls his own number. Might have gotten 2 out of it. And now Baker Mayfield is going to walk back into the backfield. He'll take the next snap. They just brought in Connor Knight as a tight end. Haven't used a lot of tight end formations tonight.
Surprised Oklahoma doesn't have any of their taller receivers in the formation on this play.
Using a lot of clock. Pirine. That was a long time to get a 1.5 yards. It's 3rd and goal. Well, it's 2-down territory because they're not going to get another chance down here, you would think. And they got one of their linemen coming up hobbled. Ty Darlington, that's their captain and their center. Well, I guess he's going to stay in. He's not 100%, I can tell you that right now. 3rd down and goal from the 2. Under center is Mayfield. Play action. Bootleg. He's going to try to. No, he does throw, and it's caught by Pirine for a touchdown.
Wow. Boy, Baker Mayfield held on to that until the very last moment that he could. I thought he was going to throw it out of the back of the end zone to avoid the sack. And instead, he makes a nice throw to Pirine. And Pirine made a nice adjustment to the ball. He was the intended receiver on the flat, coming out quickly. Wasn't open. Drifted back towards the back of the end zone. And Mayfield found him.
And Pirine's not the real receiver guy out of the backfield. That's Mixon. But he had nice hands there. And the extra point is up and good. Baker Mayfield, when Oklahoma desperately needed a play, pulled one out of his hip pocket, caps an 80-yard drive in 14 plays, and he finds Pirine in the back of the end zone to make it a ball game. 17-10.
ESPN College Football is presented by Hilton.com, where you can book unbeatable prices on 12 unbeatable hotel brands. And in part by Cadillac, only those who dare drive the world forward.
17-10 now. Baker Mayfield on that drive was almost perfect. And for the first time in his college career, Samaje Pirine catches a touchdown pass.
Well, Oklahoma right back in this football game now, thanks to that touchdown. Their defense has played well here this second half.
Nick Hodgson to kick off. Evan Berry about a yard deep. And Berry trying to fight his way to the 20. Will be right about there as we check in with Adnan Burke back in the studio.
Brad, thank you very much. Kentucky has lost 20 straight SEC road games. Haven't won since 2009 against Georgia. They're taking on South Carolina, though, and Steve Spurrier on 2nd and goal. It's Patrick Tolles who will punch it in, losing his helmet in the process, but 24-7. Kentucky is there almost at the half on the SEC network. And just a friendly reminder, Leonard Fournette, LSU taking on Mississippi State. That game will start on ESPNU. It'll be over here on ESPN once our game is done. Brad?
Adnan, thanks. Back in Knoxville with Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe. From the 20-yard line, Tennessee with just a touchdown lead now as Jalen Hurd has stood up and actually dropped for a loss. Devontae Bond makes another play, number 23. Oklahoma's got a bunch of those edge guys that aren't real big. 6'1", 6 foot, about 225 to 235 pounds, but they make a lot of plays. Unseasonably cool tonight for mid-September in the South. Perfect night for football. It's been a perfect night for the Tennessee fans so far, but now they're bottled up, and they've got a 3rd and long coming up. So some life by the Sooners defense.
And Josh Dobbs, I think he made a mistake here, not recognizing the corner blitz and getting out of that play. You know, sometimes when you audible as a quarterback, it's to get into a good play, but it's just as important to get out of a bad play. That time they ran the football right into a corner blitz, and they're actually very lucky that they didn't have a turnover.
Mike Stoops hoping his defense can force a 3 and out. Dobbs has only hit 1 of his last 8 passes, and this is 3rd down and 9.5. Blitz coming on the inside, and whistles. Coleman Thomas might have been rocking back and forth at the center spot. We're going to have a false start, I think.
Snap infraction on the center, number 55. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
He was just saying last week how comfortable he is back playing center, which is what he played all the way through high school, and he had played tackle last year. 6'5", 300-pounder. He's pretty good at pulling to the outside. That time he pulled the ball up, and it cost him 5 yards. We're under 7 minutes. 3rd down and 15. Got to be careful here if you're Tennessee. Don't want to turn it over deep in your own territory. Dobbs got leveled as he threw. It's complete, but it's way short of the 1st down to Josh Smith. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, after that Sooner touchdown was the first real emotion we saw on this Oklahoma sideline. In fact, it was the defense that got the most fired up. Dominique Alexander, the inside linebacker, ran along the entire offensive line and said, I promise you, boys, we'll get the ball back for you. Promise kept. They get another chance now.
And you see what Holly's talking about. That Sooner sideline is fired up, and they're hoping to get good field position from Sterling Shepard on the end of this kick. He's got a shot at this one from the 26. Shepard to the outside. Nice return near the 40-yard line.
Well, I think the Tennessee defense in the first half controlled the action. I think the Oklahoma defense is asserting itself here in the second half.
Oklahoma's 6 minutes away from trying to tie this thing up. SEC on ESPN. SEC leading the Big 12 17-10, but Oklahoma's got the football back. Don't forget Monday Night Football double dose for you. Eagles and Falcons at 6:55. The Vikings and Niners at 10:15. Starts with Monday Night Countdown at 5 Eastern on ESPN. 2 good games for you on Monday night. Baker Mayfield was 5 out of 6 and threw a scoring pass the last time the Sooners had the ball. His offense works from the 40-yard line here with 6:06 to play. And he'll keep it. And he gets 5, maybe 6 yards. Stops the clock with 6:01 to go. Two interceptions thrown, both to Todd Kelly Jr. Here's Samaje Perine. He's going to be about a yard shy of the 1st down at the 49. And this play's taking a while again. They're a man short. Well, they're trying to change up personnel. They trot out the tight end. One tight end in for the other. Knight comes in for Andrews. Maybe because he's a better blocker. We're about to find out if they go to that side, which is the left on 3rd down and 1. Straight up the middle. And Samaje Perine's got a 1st down. Nice second effort, too, to pick up about 4. Well, they're back in Tennessee territory.
Yeah. And a good job by Oklahoma and Lincoln Riley not abandoning their run game. Even though this offense is kind of built on the concept of throwing the ball to set up the run, trying to maintain balance. Even though you're not putting up the big numbers that you did a week ago, keep that defense honest with both run and pass.
All 3 wideouts to Mayfield's left. He's going that way with a quick throw, and Baxter forgot to take the football along with him. Was thinking about how many blockers he had ahead and just dropped it. So Shepard comes back in along with Duron Neal. They both trot out to the near side. Second down and 10 at the Tennessee 46. Oklahoma trying to get their offense set. Finally get the snap with 5 on the play clock. Mayfield going to run it. Thought about trying to cut back upfield, but he took what he could and got it to the 40-yard line. And there it's going to be 3rd down and 4. Clock running. The 4.5 minutes or less left when they snap this football. Mayfield pumps once, pressure from behind, trying to get away and did, and I don't know how. And I'm not sure that Shepard didn't catch that ball. He did. Wow.
Well, we've seen Mayfield do this a lot tonight. I mean, it looks like he is dead to rights. Derek Barnett in pursuit. Wow, what an effort by Shepard on the sideline, and Mayfield eluding pressure.
That thing looked like it was going out of bounds, and Shepard got his hands out there about 2 feet out on the chalk.
Wow.
And they're taking a look at this catch. Well, we got a moment here. Reminder for you, LSU and Mississippi State is currently on ESPNU. They just kicked off. You can catch all the action in Starkville coming up next when we're done. But we've still got some important minutes left. 4:09 left in regulation.
A lot of time for Oklahoma, and one of the few times tonight that they've been in Tennessee territory, playing uphill most of this game. But the Sooners, just the feel of the game is that they are starting to take control of the football game. Their defense has really locked them down, and Baker Mayfield, who started off very poorly, is starting to come alive.
They've converted a couple of 3rd downs on this drive too.
Seeing a little fatigue on the Tennessee defense as well.
1st down at the 27 of Tennessee. Piron is just leveled by, guess who? Jalen Reeves-Maybin.
That was a big play. Your defense is reeling a little bit, getting a little tired, and you get a negative yardage play to put the pressure back on this Oklahoma offense.
Boy, just a form tackle on a guy that weighs 230 pounds. Majid trying to be the cheerleader on the sideline after a hip injury earlier in the game. 2nd down at 14.
Barnett, he's the guy right now for Tennessee.
Don't you know that Orlando Brown knows that? The left tackle, he might have jumped again. Got away from Barnett. Mayfield goes deep to the end zone and knocked out of bounds, and a pass interference upcoming on Malik Foreman.
Yeah, I think this ball was going to sail way out of bounds, but Malik Foreman didn't know where he was at and didn't know where the ball was. Barnett missed the sack. He was in there.
Pass interference. Defense, number 37. 15-yard penalty in the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Automatic first down.
I mean, that ball is going to way out of the end zone. It's not going to be a catchable ball if Malik Foreman just doesn't run into the receiver. A.D. Miller was the intended receiver, but that ball was going all the way out of the end zone.
That's a 3rd huge penalty on Tennessee's defense this half, and it couldn't have come at a worse time. 1st down in the red zone at the 16. Oklahoma trying to tie the game. Mayfield fires a dart to Westbrook, and Westbrook dropped the ball momentarily, but he got back on it himself.
Well, you got to be impressed with the inner resolve and the resiliency of Baker Mayfield. Struggled most of this game and has just hung in there and has now watched his team seize momentum in the football game.
It was a lot tougher throw than it looked like to some, I'm sure. And now Mayfield trots out, and they go back to the Wildcat. And Mixon and Pirine in the backfield. And it's Mixon. Puts his head down, but he didn't get there. Derek Barnett again, number 9 off the edge. In on the stop with Reeves-Maben. Down to 2:10. Oklahoma's got all its timeouts remaining. 2-down territory here, 3rd and a yard. Whoops.
Movement.
False start on the right guard as Pirine takes it down to the 1-yard line, but it's not going to matter.
I don't see a flag though, Brad. I think you're right. I think there was movement on the right side, but nobody threw the flag.
And Butch Jones is way out on the 18-yard line going, are you kidding me?
I mean, that was movement by the right guard. No flag. Instead, Pirine inside the 5-yard line and a first down for the Sooners.
Oh, so we got to go back to live action. Forget what I said. 1st and goal at the 2. Pirine to the corner, easily walks in. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
There's a hold, though. A hold on the key block on a wide receiver.
Number 11. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Replay first down.
And a man down as well for Tennessee, and that's Kendall Vickers from the defensive line.
D.D. Westbrook is the guilty party, holding Malik Foreman on the play.
You talk about a strange turn of events here in the last 2 or 3 snaps.
Butch Jones still on the official about the missed movement call. Injured Tennessee player down.
Well, Butch had half the officiating staff out there to have a chat.
Here's the hold right here. D.D. Westbrook grabbing the jersey and allowed Pirine to get to the outside. Good call.
Vickers comes out under his own power and urges the crowd to make even more noise. So now the line of scrimmage is going to be the 12. And that's where it's 1st and goal. With 94 seconds left.
Baker Mayfield, since throwing his 2nd interception in this game on the miscommunication with Jarvis Baxter, he's been 8 for 10 since then. You talk about needing to have short-term memory. Quarterbacks need to have that. Baker Mayfield has done a great job of battling back in this ball game.
Sterling Shepard down to the bottom of your screen. The other 3 wide receivers to the left. 1st and goal at the 12-yard line of Tennessee. Some confusion again as they get Flowers where they want him. Pirine's behind the quarterback, and he got 2 to the 10.
It's awful hard to do, running across the line of scrimmage, communicating a check to a run play, making sure everybody's on the same page. This is an offensive line with 3 new starters, 2 freshmen at tackles. Very difficult to communicate like that in this part of the field.
12th play of the drive that's carried them 50 yards. They need 10 and a half more here with a minute to play. Mixon flushes out of the backfield. Baker Mayfield, a quarterback draw. Mayfield got a block. He got to the 5. And we're under 50 seconds in the clock running. Oklahoma's got all its timeouts remaining.
Another tackle by Jalen Reeves-Maben.
Oklahoma takes his first timeout of the half.
Now they're down to 2 timeouts, but they needed that one with 43 seconds to talk it over. Drama building at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. Don't go anywhere. That's good hands play brought to you by Allstate. And it had not been for this catch by Sterling Shepard and the scramble by Baker Mayfield, this drive wouldn't still be going. That's good hands. And now we're down to 45 seconds. 3rd and goal, Oklahoma. Just outside the Tennessee 5. Mayfield, the fade to the corner to Shepard. He got it. Touchdown. And now the question is, does Bob Stoops play for 2 to win on the road, or do they go with the extra point?
Boy, beautiful throw, beautiful route. Inside technique by the corner. Shepard moved inside and then faded to the out. And a perfect throw by Mayfield out over the outside shoulder. And then Shepard goes and catches it at the high point. That is perfect execution at the goal line.
I've got my answer as the extra point unit comes out. Austin Sieberts.
I think Bob's feeling the same way I do at this point. For the last 10-12 minutes, Oklahoma has been in control of the game.
True freshman to try to tie it and conceivably send it to overtime. And he does. It's 17-17. Boy, 10 minutes ago, would you have even thunk it? Let's take a look at the touchdown one more time.
Perfect execution and timing. Mayfield to Shepard. Shepard has come up with 2 gigantic catches on this drive. The last one evens the game.
Both on third down. The second one for a touchdown. Guess we could have saved our good hands play for that one.
Yeah. Well, we talked about at the top of the show, this game would go a long way in telling us what these two teams really have. They both won games a week ago that they should have won relatively easily, and we knew this game would reveal a lot more. Well, it's a tie ball game at this point.
So we haven't revealed everything so far.
No, which team, and they're both young football teams, which team has got it to find a way to win at this point?
Those two guys are maybe talking about it. What do you think? I don't know. What do you think?
All I know is Oklahoma's offense, which was anemic for most of the game, the last 2 drives, 14 plays, 80 yards and a touchdown, 13 plays, 70 yards and a touchdown. A completely different football game.
They took over at their own 40 on that last drive with 6:06 to go, and they worked it all the way down to 40 seconds to tie the football game. Nick Hodgson to kick. This one is returnable by Evan Berry at about the 3-yard line. Berry got a seam at the 30. Berry flags down. A good return is coming back of 37 yards.
That's a critical penalty, because with that return, if that return stands, Mike DeBoard might have said, let's go for the win. Let's make a couple aggressive plays and see if we can win this thing in regulation. But now they're going to play for overtime.
Holding return team number 51. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Don't forget, if you're waiting for LSU and Mississippi State, turn it over to ESPNU. They will follow us, but they may follow us after overtime unless something happens in the next 33 seconds. And nothing's going to happen in the next 33 seconds because they got Pig Howard back at the 5-yard line as Josh Dobbs is going to take a knee.
Well, this is the smart thing to do. Play for overtime. You're at home. The only problem is that Josh Dobbs and this Tennessee offense has been relatively stagnant. Oklahoma's defense has taken control of the game, and their offense has come alive. And in overtime, Butch Jones in Tennessee needs to figure something out here.
So the Auburn Tigers had to go to overtime at home today to win. The Tennessee Volunteers, who had a 14-point lead, are going to have to go to overtime to try to win here at Neyland. We played 4 and we're dead even at 17. Overtime is next. Ten minutes ago, I don't think we'd be talking about overtime, but 2 great drives by Oklahoma, and that's where we are, 17-17. Brad Netzler, Ty Blackley, Tolly Rowe, and our ESPN crew going to play a little overtime action here. And you know, great job by Oklahoma. I really thought, I thought that Tennessee, when they kind of went stagnant with their offense late in the third quarter, early in the fourth, they were kind of messing things up. That's the way it worked out.
Yeah, and I think their defense got a little tired. And Oklahoma's offense finally got some things going. They got some penalties that helped their cause. But great job of sticking with their plan and staying with the game and kind of taking control of the game. Now, for Tennessee in this overtime, they got to figure out what can we get going offensively. They were held to 8 yards in that fourth quarter. They've got to make some plays in this overtime period.
Baker Mayfield was sensational when he really had to be. I'm sure you know the rules of overtime, but here they are. A coin toss for choice of offense, defense at the end of the field. We're going to hear about it right now.
The winner of the toss,
Mike DeFee on the field.
Offense, defense, which end of the field you want to play in. So the winner of the toss makes one of those sections. The other will have the other option, okay? This will be the only time we toss. If we go to a second overtime period, the loser of this toss will have the first option in the next overtime period. Okay, we understand? This is heads. This is tails. What's your call?
Tails.
Tails. Tails is his call.
Mike explained it better than I could have.
It's tails. You want it.
They want to play defense.
Which end do you want to play on? This end?
They're going, you know what? Everybody's in orange and white on either end. It doesn't matter much. So Oklahoma wants defense first because then they know what they need if Tennessee scores either by a field goal or a touchdown. Josh Dobbs is warming up, and he better, because he wasn't warm in the second half at all.
Well, I think Mike DeBoer needs to be aggressive with him. You know, you've got him as a dual threat. You've got Hurd, you've got Kamara. You got to really be aggressive here because you need to find a spark again offensively.
So the first shot from the 25 comes from Tennessee.
And if you can score a touchdown on your first possession, it puts all the pressure back on Oklahoma.
No doubt. Hurd in the backfield with Dobbs. He fakes it to him, throws a quick slant and a good throw and a catch. And that's Pig Howard. Pickup of 8. So they move it immediately down to the 17-yard line.
Nice aggressive call on first down.
Second down at 2. Pump fake, might want it all right here. Didn't get what he wanted and throws it out of bounds. Looked like they maybe had a little hitch and go, something. He pump fake like he wanted to throw off it.
Yep, they were going for a touchdown on that second down and short play, and Oklahoma was not fooled by the pump fake. Everybody stayed at home in coverage, and then Stryker did a nice job of staying at home on the backside and forcing Dobbs to throw it away.
Third down and 2 in overtime. Both Kamara and Hurd are in the lineup right now, flanking Josh Dobbs. And that's Kamara on the move. Dobbs is going to roll that way and throw to Kamara, and he's got a first down at the 13.
First 3 plays, all pass calls by Mike DeBoer. Now they can go back to the run if they want. They got the first down. Now you can go back to either quarterback run or giving it to Jalen Hurd if you want.
Here comes a corner blitz. The handoff is to Hurd, and Hurd taking would-be tacklers with him. Not sure where they spot this, but that was a heck of a run. He got about 3 more than he should have.
Well, they guessed right on where to run the football. The blitz came from the open field. They ran that one back to the boundary, and Hurd able to turn it into a positive 5-yard gain.
They got second down and 6. They can actually get a first down inside the 3. All 3 wide receivers to Josh Dobbs left. They run it back the other way, and it's Hurd to the corner, and he's in. Touchdown. Jalen Hurd, an 8-yard touchdown gallop.
Very aggressive play calling to start the overtime possession, throwing the football, then coming back to the run. And that last play, beautiful block by Brett Kendrick, the right tackle.
Aaron Medley in for the point after. They're trying to give Tennessee a touchdown lead in OT, and he's got it right down the middle.
Watch the right tackle, Brett Kendrick. The tight end's going to block down, and the tackle's going to kick out. Tight end down. Watch this kick out block by the tackle. Kendrick just buries his man, and Hurd is able to step inside and take it to the corner pylon for the touchdown.
Ironically enough, it's the second time tonight that Jalen Hurd's gone over the 100 mark in rushing. He was knocked back for a loss in the fourth quarter. No loss on that one. 8 yards for the score.
And I remind you, they had 8 yards of offense in the fourth quarter, and they came out in that possession and found their groove again and put the pressure right back on Oklahoma.
We said it when overtime started. If you score a touchdown, all the heat's on the opposition. And now it's on the shoulders of Baker Mayfield and Oklahoma. They know they need 7. One mistake and it's over. Down the middle, perfect to Shepard. And Shepard wheels his way down to the 6-yard line.
Boy, how about the way Sterling Shepard has stepped up for this Oklahoma team in the second half. One big play after another by their star receiver.
And now we got a Tennessee player down, and that'll stop play here as Oklahoma was up on the ball at the 6-yard line. It's Todd Kelly Jr. who's had an unbelievable game in the secondary with a couple interceptions, and boy, they can't afford to lose him right now in this spot.
Well, first of all, this play starts and is successful because of the pass protection. Baker Mayfield, watch the time in the pocket that he has to read, come off his primary read, and find the crossing route. Beautiful pocket. Great job by the offensive line of Oklahoma. And Baker Mayfield able to get the big first play.
I think Todd Kelly and Jalen Reeves may have been hitting each other yeah, that's definitely what it was.
Yeah,
Two guys trying to bring the wide receiver down, and they got the worst of the deal. Again, Todd was talking about it earlier last week. Todd Kelly was in the hospital for the majority of the week. An infection that he got due to a tonsillectomy the previous week. Spent all week in the hospital on his iPad studying game film, then came out and played last week in the win over Bowling Green. And coaches said most remarkable thing they'd seen. And now one of their leaders on the back end back there is shaken up, and he'll come out. Evan Berry, I think, is going to take his place. And you can see the concern when your head coach is out there with you, walking to the sideline. Meanwhile, for Oklahoma, they've got a 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Well, we talked about Tennessee needing to be aggressive to start overtime. Oklahoma, same thing. First play, a positive pass yardage play, and now they're right there threatening the Tennessee defense. Lincoln Riley was at East Carolina the last 5 years. He's a former quarterback at Texas Tech. And in the 5 seasons he was at East Carolina, each year they broke a new passing record in school history. So he's used to big numbers and explosive offense. They've had to kind of grind it out tonight. But they're sitting here at 1st and goal in their first overtime possession.
From the 6 of Tennessee. Mayfield, both his tailbacks in there with him. And it's Pirine. Inside the 5, still fighting, got to the 4. I think that's it, though. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
Tennessee played 15 true freshmen last week in their opener. They played 21 true freshmen in their opener a year ago. A very young football team. Talented but young. Can they make a play here?
All the receivers to Mayfield's left. He's looking that way. Fires a crossing route. It's too high for D.D. Westbrook. And it's 3rd and goal.
Again, good protection for Mayfield. Just a little high on the throw, but he had a nice pocket to work with.
They've got 2 downs to go 4 yards. Nobody has left Neyland Stadium. Whether you're in Tennessee orange or crimson and cream. 3rd and goal, just outside the 4. Pirine. Is the play blown dead, or is he just slowing down?
You know what? I think Oklahoma may have called timeout. Yep. Because Pirine stopped.
Prior to the snap, timeout, Oklahoma.
Bob Stoops called timeout on the sideline. They were going to double Sterling Shepard on that play. That's why Baker Mayfield checked to a run. The numbers said run it instead of throw it.
This crowd takes a quick breath. They'll be in full voice here when Oklahoma comes out of this timeout. Two top 25 teams in an intersectional battle between the SEC and the Big 12.
These two young freshman offensive tackles, Orlando Brown, a redshirt freshman, Josiah St. John is in there now. He is a fifth-year senior, but a new starter. They have started to settle into the game a lot better.
Third down and goal. Sterling Shepard's in a slot on the right side. Perine readjusts in the backfield. Mayfield, trouble, running with it. Got to about the 1-yard line, and it's 4th and goal. It's all come down to one play. One play. You'll know in a minute if Tennessee can hold them. You'll hear a roar like you've never heard so far in this early season.
A lot of times in this situation you see a pick type play. Watch for Perine going out in the flat and the receivers coming in.
Mayfield waiting on the snap. Keeps it himself. He's in. Touchdown. What a gutsy quarterback he's been in the fourth quarter and overtime.
When you run the quarterback, you gain an extra blocker. Perine carries out the fake and then gets a key block on the edge for the quarterback keeper. They haven't asked him to run too much tonight, but he's been effective when he has.
Siebert, the true freshman, in for an all-important point after. He hasn't missed one so far this year. Still hasn't. 24-24. Overtime number 2 is yet to come. Baker Mayfield from a yard out keeps the game alive. Knoxville, Oklahoma and Tennessee tied at 24.
Well, Mayfield got the touchdown, but I want you to watch the block by Perine. He starts this way on the fake and then redirects and gets a kick-out block for the touchdown. This is not easy to do. Start one way, come back the other way, and then get the key block for his quarterback to tie the football game in overtime.
And watch Baker Mayfield, what he says to the end zone crowd. This kid's got some brass.
Yeah, he does. Well, he has fought back. He has shown great resiliency, and you know, this is the kind of his demeanor, his personality is a big reason why I think he won the job this summer. He's
Remember,
a confident guy.
Had the guts to leave Texas Tech after being Big 12 Freshman of the Year. Had some disagreements with Coach Kingsbury there. Went to Norman, Oklahoma on his own. Had no contact with the coaching staff. They had heard that he might be around, but didn't even see him till he walked in to one of the spring football practices and said, "Hey, I'm Baker Mayfield. Nice to meet you."
And remember, he made the decision to go there right after the Sugar Bowl when Trevor Knight played so well.
So now it's Oklahoma. That is a lateral. It's a double pass, or it was going to be. D.D. Westbrook wanted to pull up and throw that ball.
That was a bad throw by Baker Mayfield because it disrupted the timing of the play. Westbrook had to make a great effort just to catch the football because it would have been a live ball had he dropped it.
Talk about going for the juggler with a trick play in double overtime. They lost a yard at 2nd down and 11. Perine broke one tackle, got away from a second, bulls his way for 7 yards, maybe 8.
Now, we talked about the young guys on the inside of this defense for Tennessee. trying to rotate guys in and keep them fresh, but they're missing some guys.
Big third down. Mayfield's got a guy wide open. It's Shepard. Sterling Shepard. He dives in. Did he get to the end zone, or did he step out of bounds? He's in. Touchdown.
Well, Malik Foreman was in coverage and he fell down. Watch number 13 fall down on the break. He gets tripped up by the feet of Shepard, and that's when Mayfield saw a wide open guy, and he's been the go-to guy in the second half for Oklahoma.
Watch this ballet move. 1 foot down, 2 feet down, lean in, touchdown. 18 yards. Sterling Shepard, and a sterling performance on that sideline. And Mayfield firing up that Sooner crowd that was down on that end and that corner of the end zone. And the Tennessee fans are in shock. And now with the extra point coming up, the Volunteers are going to know what they need. And that'll be another touchdown to send it to OT3. First, the extra point. Siebert, perfect. Baker Mayfield in the second half, when Oklahoma's offense looked pathetic. Here's what he came up with.
He just kept grinding. You know, this one was, he held it to the last minute, got the touchdown throw to Pirine, and then he just kind of came alive after that. After he threw his second interception of the game, he's played almost flawlessly.
Remember when they were 1 for 11 on third downs? They're 7 out of 8 since. What a play by Shepard. Look at the numbers. After the third quarter, 11 out of 14, 103-3. And now Dobbs and company have to go to work. And that's Jalen Hurd for a couple. Remember, if we go one more set, you got to play for 2. As far as your extra points are concerned. This game is now 4 hours old. Howard in motion. One mistake and it's over. Dobbs hit as he throws. Almost caught over there at the 1 yard line by Howard. Eric Stryker's a guy I think that got into the chest of Dobbs.
Yeah, Dobbs wasn't able to step into that throw, and the ball kind of fluttered out on him. And now we got third down.
They need to get to the 15-yard line in the next 2 downs.
Devontae Bond has been a real factor tonight for Oklahoma. He's going to rush the passer from the bottom of the screen right here.
Third down and 8. And now we might have motion by Brett Kendrick.
False start. Offense. Number 63. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Well, they just made it a whole lot tougher on themselves.
Well, Brett Kendrick saw Eric Stryker sneaking in to rush from the other side. It was kind of a long snap count, and he had to hold that stance for a long time, and Stryker made him nervous. Right now, if you're Josh Dobbs, you're thinking, let's get at least half this yardage. We've got 2 downs to get another first down here.
Ethan Wolf, the tight end, in motion on third down and 12. Dobbs sets, fires, intercepted, and it's over. Oklahoma comes from behind and upsets what looked like a sure win for Tennessee. Instead, the Sooner fans celebrate at Neyland Stadium. Zach Sanchez, as he did 6 times a year ago, steps in front of an opponent quarterback's pass and ends the game. Amazing comeback by Oklahoma.
Well, a great play by Sanchez, but I think Josh Dobbs tried to get it all in one play. Instead of looking underneath to Ethan Wolf, he forced a ball in there, and Sanchez came right underneath the throw for the interception. That was a hard throw. If he throws underneath to Ethan Wolf, maybe he has another shot at 4th down.
The largest home lead ever for the Tennessee Volunteers to let get away. And the Sooners go to 2-0. Tennessee's 1-1. For Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe, Brad Nessler saying so long as we send it to Starkville and Dave Pasch and Brian Greasy.